Welcome back to another episode of Another Gaming Podcast, episode 19, and we promise this one will not be as long as the last one. Well, we hope, I guess, that it's not as long as the last one, because I need to go to bed this evening at a reasonable hour. I am Doomwaves, aka Chance, one of your hosts, and also joining me tonight, Steve-O, the Laggy Gamer. What's going on, Steven?
I'm doing great. I'm excited I got introduced before Dustin, so yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, Popcorn, Dustin. Dustin's the next person. Hello, Dustin. Christ, how's it going?
What the hell does Popcorn Dustin mean?
You never did that
Come
in high
on,
school?
man. Popcorn, yeah.
You'd be reading along in the book, and you'd say Popcorn and somebody else's name, and it was then their turn to read?
Maybe I'm just too old for this shit, but no.
Okay.
We read until the teacher said, "Okay, stop. Now you read."
Okay, well,
The teacher dictated.
I guess we were cooler than you back in the day.
Much more democratic, yeah.
Much more.
Hey, everyone.
Apparently.
By the way. Yeah.
And also joining us this evening, a very special guest, SNESmapper, a.k.a. Bruno. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me on the podcast, and it's a fun time, ready to talk about games.
Glad to have you on, and still glad to hear that you haven't changed the batteries in your smoke detectors. It's very comforting.
Yeah, it's a staple of my videos, and now it's part of your podcast. So.
Oh, I'm just busting your balls.
Oh, that takes me back to the day. Remember, Dustin, the first episodes with me and you?
Yeah.
It was my alarm going off. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll get started with our random top big three questions, I guess.
No, we can't.
Or
Whoa.
you can tell us about his channel
There
first.
we go.
Well, you could have done that afterwards.
No. No chance. There's a formula. Don't
I'm
fuck.
calling the shots here.
I'm Mike Love, and I'm telling you to not fuck with the formula.
Read the script, man.
Fine. Tell us about your channel.
All right. Well, my channel is about pickups videos and impressions videos mostly. That's I put emphasis on those two types of videos, but every now and then I do gameplay videos. Every now and then I do unboxings, and every now and then I do video responses to the gaming community. But the main focus is pickups videos and impressions videos. Anytime I beat a new game, I just go on and say my thoughts about that game. So with an emphasis on modern games rather than retro. So yep.
Yes, and if you guys can tell, if you're listening good, he has a wonderful guest that is in every video, and that's this awesome mic that he has with this beautiful voice just illuminating from it. So
Sexy
I'm jealous
voice.
of your mic.
So sweet.
Just when you listen to this episode, turn the speakers way up, turn that bass way up, and just let it reverb through your entire body.
It's awesome, yeah. I've been a fan of your channel for a while there, Bruno. It got a lot of similar taste in games and stuff, so enjoyed seeing that you beat Shadows of the Damned and stuff here recently, so
Hell yeah.
really been digging your stuff, so awesome
And
channel, you guys. Go check them out.
Yeah, likewise. I've been a fan of your respective channels for a long time, so I'm pretty happy to be on the podcast. So thank
You
you.
were actually one of my very first subs.
Yeah, I think I was like top 5.
Yeah, you were
Oh,
very
nice.
early on, so it was very cool. I felt
Yeah.
very special.
I think it's
Yeah.
great you guys can remember that stuff. Like Dustin remembers his first one. I wish I could. I can't remember any of that.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first one, and I can never say his name, but it's like Sega
Saturn, yeah.
Sega, yeah, some. I could bring it up and look at it real fast if I wanted to, but yeah, he made the comment on one of my videos. I'm your first sub, and I was like, yes.
I thought TG was your first sub. I thought you said that on the Facebook.
No, TG was like number 3.
Oh, okay.
Well, they got that new community tab that
Yeah.
shows what now?
Which
Who
that-
subbed the longest, most activity.
I don't know if
stuff.
that's really accurate though, because I think it said that Nick was my second sub. Maybe that's true, but that just doesn't. That seems like, 2 people that I've talked to in person were my second and third subs. It just seems kind of weird. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but I know that Sega something. He was my first sub because he told me he was on the video.
I know Nick did bring me to you, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it past if he was the second, because he praised your channel like crazy. But that huge shout out. So cool stuff. I guess now we can do the big three, if that's okay with Chance, since he's calling the shots here today.
Sure, why not?
All right, Bruno, big three. Favorite movie, recording artist, game, any order you want to do it in.
All right, I guess I'll start with the games. And for me, I know a lot of your previous guests sometimes had problems coming up with their number one game, but for me, it's a clear-cut winner at number one, and that game is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. That game is just a masterpiece, and you really had to be, a gamer back in '98. I think it's when it was released, because it's one of the few games that I think was able to live up to the hype at the time. It was such a overhyped game. A lot of people were waiting. It was the first 3D Zelda game, and it managed to meet the expectations of just about anybody. So it was a very innovative game. It brought the Z targeting system. The graphics were great, and I don't know. It's just, in my opinion, a masterpiece that every time I see those, Metacritics or, you always see Ocarina of Time at number one, and I agree, because it's a very influential game to the industry, and just a fantastic game overall.
Now, see, would you think? I think Ocarina of Time is a fantastic game. I won't battle you on that one. Do you think a game that you're saying was a masterpiece and it's number one, as broken as people have made it, does that affect it at all as being as good as it was? Because it seems like people have glitched and broken that game like crazy since its release.
Yeah, I've seen about a bunch of those videos where people, glitch the game to do speed runs and stuff. But yeah, they're pretty interesting. But I don't know. To me, it's going back, it's the game that I had the most enjoyment, playing that game. So that's why it's my number one. Easy
I don't know
number
how
one.
old I don't know how old I was when that came out, but I couldn't imagine myself sitting there. I wonder who thought of all these things those guys are doing, jumping through walls, because it takes such precision to what they're doing.
Right.
Just, wow.
And the
You gonna say
crazy
something,
thing
Dustin?
is, what's that?
I thought I heard Dustin say something, but I guess not.
No, I was just going to say, I think it was 97 when that came out, wasn't it?
That came out? Okay. You go ahead,
Never
Bruno.
played it.
What's that?
What?
Hold up, has he said that before on here?
I don't know. This
I thought I would
podcast,
remember if he did.
this podcast is over until he finishes it, so we're going to sit here and wait, Chance.
Okay.
3DS
Yep.
now, man. Way to go.
I never played it. I mean, I played it I don't know, at friends' houses a little bit, and I had borrowed it and borrowed the system and the game, to try and play it, because I fancied myself a Zelda fan, but I just never got very far in it. So
It really was kind of a game changer, like a lot of the N64 games were. I mean, it was just it probably hasn't aged all that well. I'm not sure. I haven't gone back to it here recently, but when you played it, it was just like it almost blew your brains, because you just felt like you were there in Hyrule. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
now I would say that you say how good it is, but then most people are kind of polarized on that one in Majora's Mask. If you were a huge fan of Ocarina of Time, you weren't necessarily a huge fan of Majora's Mask. I mean, and what's the deal with that?
I'd probably agree with that, because Ocarina of Time allowed you to sort of explore it at your leisure, whereas I always felt like with Majora's Mask I was under the gun to do stuff.
Yeah, the time limit.
Yeah.
That might be the only Zelda I never try to finish. Just something about it with the time limit and all. I don't know if I ever will.
Well, I never played Link to the Past either, so.
Uh-oh.
I was going to say Ocarina of Time was the only, and I can't be the only one guilty of this. I rented that game from Blockbuster, and it's the only game I never returned. I had to keep that one.
I would love to see the due date on that one, like the fine on that one. There was a news story here recently where somebody went to jail when they tried to return something that they had kept for a long time, like the store called the cops on them. So you'd probably be in jail right now.
That's insane.
But
Good thing they're out of business.
Ocarina of Time, I distinctly remember this game because it was the first Zelda game where I felt like fear. Like it was a kind of a creepy game in places, like with those the skull spiders that just kind of scratch around on, and you don't know where they're at, and you're looking for them, and
Oh yeah.
That and the zombie-like
yeah,
creatures that scream and
ooh, those
yeah. Yeah, those were pretty scary.
and just running around on the Hyrule field at night is kind of a creepy thing too.
Yep.
I remember it taking forever for me to beat it because it was in a time where I wasn't using the internet or nothing. So, I mean, it had to be 3 months before I had that thing beaten. But it was fun the whole time. Just loved it. You could fish in that game too, right? I think I remember fishing in it.
You can fish in
It's
that
been a
game.
while since I played it too, so.
And it was pretty fun too. Fishing was really fun.
Oh yeah.
Trying to beat your like high score or your trying to get a bigger fish every time. It was really fun.
Well, I don't think anyone can say that was a wrong choice for your favorite game, so why don't you go on to your recording artist or movie?
All right, recording artist. It's another, I guess, easy number one for me, and it's the Beatles. I grew up listening to them. My parents are big fans of the Beatles, so it's one of my first bands that I listened when I was a kid. So I just love them. But I like all kinds of music. So, but if I have to choose, the Beatles are number one.
I love that he's picked the Beatles, and you can't see it, but I'm wearing my Listen to the Beach Boys shirt right now.
Oh.
The war begins!
The war begins. No, Beach Boys are pretty cool too, but the Beatles were one step ahead in my opinion back in the 60s.
Bruno, we're gonna fight.
The Beatles, I've just never been a fan of. I don't like them at all. I know that's probably horrible to say, but I'm just not into the Beatles.
Yeah, I love the Beatles too. In fact, my girlfriend for Valentine's Day, she just bought me a vinyl copy of Revolver, which is my favorite.
Ah, nice.
I can't listen to it until she comes over tomorrow to listen to it. But...
Nice. Really good album.
What about you, Chance? Beatles
Love
thoughts?
the Beatles. Oh yeah, love the Beatles. My favorite thing by the Beatles is actually something that came out way late. It's the remastered and remixed remastered Love album. That,
the Cirque du Soleil thing.
Yeah, took a lot of the songs and mashed them up and put them together and made a lot of them run one into the next one, and it was just really a really cool thing because you could just listen to it from beginning to end, and it was just a really great experience. Had songs from all over the place, and I'm actually a really huge fan of the Across the Universe musical too. I actually really like that. It was, I thought, a very good adaptation of a lot of Beatles songs. Am I alone in this?
I never watched Across the Universe, so I don't know.
It's got Jim Sturgis in it, and
Are you talking the movie?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
it's a movie musical.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I liked it.
All right, favorite movie then.
Tweet.
Okay, favorite movie. That's where I'm gonna have my my doubts. I don't have a clear cut winner as far as movies. I don't know. It's tough. I like foreign movies, like Italian movies, La Vita è Bella, which is Life is Beautiful, Il Postino, Cinema Paradiso. I don't know. I know a lot of people are not very interesting in foreign films and stuff, but I enjoy watching those. But I don't know. I guess a famous choice would be The Big Lebowski. That's one of my all-time favorites. So
Nice.
I guess I'll throw that one in.
Awesome. I will not argue with that one.
Yeah.
Will anyone else refute that?
No, it's a good because it works on so many levels. I mean, you could just watch it and see just a brilliantly funny movie, or you can watch it and you can see this beautiful critique on the film noir genre. It's so many things. That movie is so dense, and a lot of people don't realize how dense that movie really is.
Yeah.
The Dude Abides.
Yes, the dude
And
abides.
with the late great Hoffman in it. So
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the bunnies. I watched it. I watched a weird thing on Netflix. It kind of reminds me of this. It's a movie called Clean Flicks, and it's about these. They're really kind of all based around Mormon areas where they take existing movies and re-edit them to sell to like the Mormon audience, so they're clean movies. And technically it's not really breaking any copyright laws because it's a one-to-one thing. You buy the movie, bring it in, they make you a copy. You still have your original copy, and you get this additional copy as well. But a lot of directors are going crazy about it. But anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this is because they edited The Big Lebowski.
How is that even possible?
Exactly, that's one thing. And like I'm thinking about the pool scene where Lebowski's talking to Bunny there, and she's talking about I'll suck your dick for $1 or something like that, And he's like, well, let me go see if there's a cash machine around. And so they're sitting there talking, and they're saying like all the innocuous lines. And then Bunny just kind of smiles at him, and he just goes, well, let me go see if there's a cash machine around. Makes absolutely no fucking sense. Like, it completely just destroys the movie.
Yeah, that'll ruin the movie, in my opinion. I mean,
that's awesome. I love that movie so much. My dad, he was the first one to introduce me to it. So for his birthday one year, I got him a shirt that had like all the great quotes on it. But I may have intentionally bought it smaller so it wouldn't fit him, and he'd have to give it to me.
What a jerk.
He tried it on. He got to wear it until he washed it, and then it kind of shrunk a little bit, so onto the sun.
It would have been funny if he's like, well, time to lose weight.
Like framed it.
Yeah.
Just for the shirt.
Like, one day.
All right, well, I can't argue with any of those stuff. But yeah, the only foreign film I've kind of ever really liked was Pan's Labyrinth. And I guess that qualifies as a foreign film. So
if you like Pan's Labyrinth, you should watch Devil's Backbone.
He did that one too, right?
He did that one too, and actually Pan's Labyrinth is like a companion piece to Devil's Backbone. They're not really sequels, but they're kind of set during the same time period.
Oh, no way.
And the stories kind of mirror each other. And I think if you really like Pan's Labyrinth, you will find Devil's Backbone really awesome as well. Actually, Bruno, I really love foreign film as well. I really... I'm really pretty heavily into the films of Ingmar Bergman, which is a Swedish director, and then I'm starting to get into the French New Wave stuff as well. But I've never really been able to get into Italian films for some reason. I don't know why.
Instead of the westerns, that is.
Oh yeah, except for spaghetti westerns. I love spaghetti. I love me some spaghetti westerns.
All right, well, cool deal.
I love me some spaghetti.
Had it for dinner tonight, no joke. So, Chance, why don't you continue to DJ this thing, man, and lead us to where we're going next?
Where are we going?
Wherever you want us to go, man. Lead the way.
Okay.
All right, time's up. So, this is what we're... Well, I think the thing we're going to get right into it. The thing that's been heavy on all of us, just the past few days, almost this whole year, the big cloud has been hanging over Nintendo. And certain person has brought to light their feelings on it here recently, taking it as far as wanting to boycott Nintendo, and people voicing out all the problems Nintendo's having. So we're just going to have a Nintendo discussion, talk about our thoughts. We might even talked about this on a previous episode. I don't care. It just seems like such a strong thing to talk about. And Bruno, being a huge Nintendo fan, we figured he'd be a perfect one to want to share all these thoughts with. Because you were a Wii U launch owner, correct, Bruno?
Yeah, day one. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I remember keep checking in on you periodically. Still liking that Wii U? Still liking it? But so we're going to share our thoughts on some recent happenings. And so we'll take it from there. So Bruno, since you're a huge Nintendo fan, we're all Nintendo fans, and you've had it since launch. How do you think it's been going the road so far for them? Are you're happy to be a Wii U owner? You're a little disappointed, wish you would have waited. How's it going for you so far?
I am pretty happy. But then again, I knew beforehand that the Wii U, it was going to struggle. And, the Nintendo consoles, they have been on this natural decline ever since the Nintendo 64 came out. So the Wii was, the exception to the rule because it was such a major hit between, gamers and non-gamers, if you will. But I knew that the third-party support was going to be weak, and I knew that the way that I treat Nintendo consoles is that they're the perfect complement to either a Sony or Microsoft console. So, with that being said, I bought the Wii U day one because I was pretty interested in the games coming out for it, and I have yet to be disappointed by owning a Nintendo system. I've been a Nintendo gamer for over 20 years, and I'm pretty happy with it. But again, I knew of the potential problems beforehand, which is why I have a PlayStation 3. Now I have a PS4. So I think the Nintendo consoles, they're a perfect complement to a Sony or Microsoft console. So I knew that beforehand. So I'm pretty happy. I think the first party output so far has been pretty strong. Perhaps not optimal, but pretty strong in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and I think people get, I don't know, kind of lost here, and you guys can say if you agree or not. What do you buy a Nintendo console for? You buy it for the first party games, pretty much, correct? I don't buy it to play Call of Duty on it. I don't buy it to play Titanfall or Halo or nothing. It's for their first party games. Am I right?
That's
Yes.
exactly why you buy a Nintendo system.
Yep.
So the main thing I'm hearing from people is the third party support. Where is it? They need it. I've never needed Nintendo to have third party support.
Yeah, but the thing
You say that, but Xenoblade is your favorite game on the Wii.
That's for the first party.
Xenoblade is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He almost got us.
He almost
Continue.
got us.
Well, the thing that I'm gonna miss the most, I think, because I mean the third party support for the Wii U has been very, very weak, and it's gonna become like pretty much non-existent after Watch Dogs is released. But the thing that I think is gonna hurt me at least is we're gonna lack some of those hidden gems third party games, kind of like No More Heroes, Killer 7 for the GameCube, No More Heroes for the Wii, Mad World, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be missing those games because I don't know. I just like those type of games, but I think we're gonna have to deal with that and just hold on into our consoles for the first party support from Nintendo.
But it seems
Go ahead,
like
Dustin.
that is like a perfect niche for the Wii U. Like some of these smaller developers out there that can't make like a PS4 game, because let's face it, it's getting increasingly cost prohibitive to create these games for these new consoles. So, with Nintendo kind of lagging behind in that war, if some of these smaller developers wanted to make like a really good game that didn't need all that, graphical muscle, it seems like the Wii U would be like where you would go. But, sales-wise, I could understand looking at the numbers and be like, well, if we release on the PS4, then we'd sell this many, But it seems like these little, and there is kind of a strong indie development on the eShop. It seems like there's all these eShop downloadable games coming out. So
Yep.
Maybe that's the future of the Wii U. Maybe maybe the Xbox One won't be the digital system. Maybe the Wii U will be the digital system, which would be hilarious because we all know how horrible Nintendo's online is.
Yep.
Yeah, the recent Nintendo Direct highlighted some pretty interesting downloadable title only or indie games coming out. Moon Chronicles, I think that was the name of that one, jumping out to me. A first person shooter one on a 3DS.
The remake of that, the DS game.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty sweet as far as that. I know a game just came out on the 3DS that you were probably looking forward to, Bruno, the soccer game. I remember you mentioned something about that a while back, right?
Yeah, in Azuma 11, I already own that game because I imported it from Europe because it's a DS game, so you can play it. It's region free on your 3DS. So yeah, it's a very good game. It's a pretty good RPG, pretty fun. I haven't beaten the game, but got pretty far, and it's a good RPG by level 5. Worth checking out, in my opinion.
But I went off here when we're focusing on the Wii U here, so sorry about that. But yeah, like I was saying, I always thought it was just for first party to have the Nintendo console for, and even with the Wii, even though I had a late start on it, the games they had on there, especially their first party stuff, I thought was amazing. And I mean, if you can have 30 games that you enjoy playing on a system, I think it's a successful system. And I have no doubt that the Wii U is easily going to have 30 games, maybe even plus on it. They're going to be fun games, even if it's from first party or third party.
Yeah.
But it just gets frustrating when I hear the argument about no games and stuff. I just recently bought one. Dustin recently bought one. I got 6 games sitting here, and I mean, I'm happy with the 6 that I have. That's a good set library for me, I think. What about you, Dustin? You just got yours.
Well, yeah, and I just bought another one too. I just bought Zombie U.
Nice.
Yeah, So, but the thing of it is like there are games on there. The problem is the games that people want to be on there, like the Call of Duties, all these, big name franchises. People wouldn't buy a Wii U to play those games on it. Now, if you bought a Wii U and that's the only system you had, you would play those games on it. But you're not going to go out and buy a Wii U for Call of Duty. I'm sorry. That's kind of Xbox's,
Yeah.
it's just ingrained in people's head that you play Call of Duty on Xbox Live. So I don't see where having these big franchises would help the Wii U at all, because they're not going to buy this system for those games. What the Wii U needs to do is really have that, like the Wii, it needs to have that unique library. And I know that the Wii's library was 80% shovelware, but that 20% of games that was good and interesting, I mean, I sit and look at my shelves and I'm like, man, the Wii was a great system. Look at all those interesting games on there,
Oh yeah.
And I kind of look at my 360 my 360 collection, and it just seems kind of bland. Now the PS3 seems kind of cool because it has a lot of different stuff in it as well. But for some reason, my 360 collection, it just seems like action game, action game, action game, action game, action game, RPG, action game, action game, action game. And my Wii collection, it's like puzzle game, RPG, light gun shooter game. It just seems like it's so random. And to be honest, as I'm getting older, that's what I kind of want out of a system. I want to have a variety and not just the same thing every fucking time,
This might be a good thing for to get Chance in on then, because I'll tell me if I'm wrong or not, Chance, but I think if you would have a choice between all the current systems, you'd probably want the Wii U least out of the bunch, correct? If you could have any.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd say that, because, I mean, as it stands right now, right this very moment, the Wii U has more games that I would want to play than either of the other two.
Yeah.
But the prospect of there being, Halo 5, and I do want to play Titanfall, and, in the future of other series that I really like, yeah, I'd probably lean more towards Xbox. But that's not saying that I don't want a Wii U, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you're not one of the Wii U bashers or haters.
No.
I'm just trying to see if...
I just don't have the money to buy one right now. And, and even if I did, I'd have, like, a game. I'd have Mario 3D World, and that'd probably be it. For right now.
You'd want Wonderful 101.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, if you follow my channel, I mean, I just don't buy that many new releases. It's like, half out of necessity and half because I'm cheap. It's like I can't always afford it, and I also can't, always get to where it is, unless I order online, in which case, you have to pay for shipping, or I have to pay $20 in gas to drive, to go get it because I live far away from everything. And I'm cheap too, so I like to buy games after they've been out for a little bit, buy it used. And I know that speaks to, not supporting the company, that makes the game, and, sorry.
Well, here's what I'm trying to get to. Because you love your 360, correct? Like,
yeah, I do.
It's probably your...
As Dustin's sitting here saying, action game, action game, action game, action game, RPG, I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's kind of the way I play. I play far more action games than RPGs, but that's my preference. Not saying that it's right or wrong.
Well, I was just making more of a statement on what games are developed for these systems. Versus,
sure, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I was right there with you, but yeah.
What would Nintendo have to do if someone is into that, try to want to more, what do they have to do to grab your attention more than to bring you over in? If someone's into that type of stuff, Chance, if that's if the 360 was your system, but they're like, hey, put that 360 down because we got this stuff over here on our Wii U, what would they have to do for you?
Put a DS slot on it.
Which could, no slots coming, but download.
Well, yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, because I don't also play that many first-party Nintendo games either. I've never played any of the 3D Zelda games, pretty much, and I skipped I played a little bit of Metroid Prime, the first one, but I skipped the second one and the third one, and I skipped Other M. And I'm just trying to sit here thinking. I'm looking at my Wii collection. I have Super Paper Mario, and I have the Operation Rainfall games, which I still haven't played. And I have Twilight Princess, but never played it. I have Dead Space, Extraction. Just not that many games on it anyway. So yeah, it's a great system with a lot of variety of games. But I find myself kind of not thinking, oh my God, the Wii was so amazing. But that's just me. That's just back to 360 being my console choice last generation.
Well, I guess because what's the thing that I'm seeing is with a lot of people commenting on is Nintendo's forgetting their audience or losing who their audience were. Are you guys seeing any evidence that they're forgetting who their audience was?
I don't think Nintendo is. I think the fact that the third-party support isn't there, and I think we all kind of look back on the Super Nintendo with rose-colored glasses, because there was a lot of. That was the last time that Nintendo had a lot of third-party support, and even then, it's like the games weren't that great. Not all of the third-party games were fantastic. It was just certain developers made very good games for the Super Nintendo. And then, when the N64 days, I had an N64 and all my friends had a PlayStation. I was kind of jealous of them. But at the same time, when you pop in, you can't argue with Super Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time. You just can't argue those games and that quality. Even the PlayStation couldn't do stuff like that. So I don't think Nintendo's lost sight of their audience. They're still doing the same things. And, as far as new IPs go, Xenoblade, I'm sorry, that's a new IP. X, it's still in the same series, but it's kind of a different thing. They're still doing new things. Wonderful 101, new IP. So they're still doing new things, but they also know that their nostalgia trades extremely well. And this is a criticism that Nintendo gets thrown at them all the time. All they do is trade on nostalgia. Well, look at the other systems, okay? New IPs on the PlayStation or the Xbox don't do all that well. Look at Majin the Forsaken Kingdom. Look at Enslaved. New IPs don't do that insanely well. What does well? Sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel. Look at the Assassin's Creed series. Call of Duty. All these series do just massive sequels. Halo. Look at how many Halos were on the 360, for Christ's sake. So to level that criticism at Nintendo, that all they do is put out Mario games, which even I complain about that sometimes. That's just because I'm not the biggest Mario fan anymore. But to level that at Nintendo and not say that to the other guys about all these sequels and stuff like that, it's disingenuous is what it is, and it's putting your head in the sand.
Yeah. What do you think, Bruno?
Yeah, I sort of agree. It's pretty tiring that to see a new Call of Duty every year, but then again, that's what the demand is out there for. And for me, it's a little bit upsetting. I don't have anything against Call of Duty or the Battlefield games. Heck, I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I don't have anything against those games, but it just pains me to see Nintendo do so bad. It's upsetting, and I fear that the end of traditional gaming may happen sooner than later. Because Nintendo, yes, we can criticize them because they're so behind the times with their online accounts and the eShop and whatnot. But at the same time, it's good for them to be like old school in certain regards, because I think all of their games have that old school charm that it's very hard to find in other companies and in other developers. I think nowadays you either try to make a first person shooter or a movie type experience like The Last of Us or BioShock, and I like those games, but at the same time I like my old school platformers. I like my quality Metroid games, and it's upsetting to see Nintendo do this bad right now.
Yeah. Thinking about it, the Wii U, really at this point in its life cycle, it kind of really reminds me of either the Dreamcast or the GameCube in a lot of ways, because it's like everyone says there's no games for it. There are games for it. The problem is people can buy those games on other systems as well. And that was kind of the problem with the GameCube, is that, you had the ports, But usually, like Bruno said, the Nintendo system is the complement to the other system. So, like in my PS2 days, I would buy the multi-platform games on my PS2. And I would just buy the Wii gems, or the GameCube gems, you know what I mean? Just the only 4 GameCube games, I'd buy those.
See, I was opposite. I actually got all mine on the GameCube because
Really?
it always seemed like they were the better version
The better
since
versions?
GameCube was more powerful and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I understand why PS2. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like the system of choice, so why not just get everything on
Yeah,
that one
exactly.
if it's third party?
So,
I think nowadays that's more common because for third-party games or multi-platform games, because both the PlayStation and Xbox products, they have a much solid online infrastructure, and
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer getting multi-platform games for those systems. So it hurts Nintendo to be behind the times a little bit, but again, it's a complementary system for me at least.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about a recent article that was posted by a fellow YouTuber and share our thoughts on that. And to get things going here, hold on one second. Why don't you guys, Dustin, you go ahead and say Gamester81.
Yeah.
Who?
Gamester81.
Oh.
You guys heard of him?
Yeah.
Well, in sad news, Mr. Iwata and the rest of the Nintendo senior staff will be taking, once again, another 50% pay cut because, big news, Gamester81 has decided to boycott Nintendo. So, everybody, just hold on to your butts because Nintendo's days are numbered.
And listen, and for anyone who listens to this podcast, we're honest on here. We don't try to hide our feelings on anything.
Yeah.
So when we saw this thing pop up, we for sure wanted to speak our minds on it. And you know what? If you guys don't agree with us and don't care, you can dislike all you want, unsub, but it's not going to change our feelings on how we feel about what was written in this thing. So not even everyone on the podcast here might agree with each other, but that article, man, it's something about that just really irked me when seeing. If anyone's unfamiliar with it, Gamester put an article on there, pretty much saying he's boycotting on his website that he's boycotting Nintendo, and he went through. He wrote a pretty good summary of why he's doing it, but it seemed like the main thing was he had a video copyrighted by Nintendo. And he also had some other issues in there as well. Like he felt like some of the things we were discussing about Nintendo seems to have lost its way, the way they canceled its magazine, the way just the Wii U isn't selling well and stuff like that. But the thing, it seemed like he was putting all that other stuff to kind of cover up the copyright thing, which had the biggest paragraph and took up the most space. And it really seemed like the main issue.
In the replies is the number one thing he replies to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the reply section. And it I kind of always take a little issue when I see someone talk about a copyright or a monetization type thing, because I mean, all the praise to you if you're one of those people who want to monetize your channel. I'm not going to hate on you for it or anything. I know sometimes we give each other a hard time between the group here, but if Dustin ever wanted to go off and do it because he's got subscribers now, well, he could probably buy a game or two every 3 months off of it. More power to him for doing it. But to start getting mad at a company because they copyrighted you for showing off something that's not your property.
He's not even getting mad at the right company. Oh. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
just go ahead, Dustin. No, your turn.
Okay.
It just bugs me.
Yeah. The thing that drove me nuts is, okay, he's talking about boycotting this company. He goes at great lengths to say that Nintendo is a company that he loves. Okay. And he says, they've gotten too big for their britches. They need to be humbled a little bit. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how contradictory is this? Because, one, Nintendo is already hurting. They've been hurting for a while now. And it's mostly self-inflicted wounds in a lot of ways. But it's also because the media and the YouTube community, in a lot of respects, we like to pick on the little guy, and in this the last couple of generations, Nintendo's been the little guy. And there's nothing to play on the Wii. It's all shovelware and blah 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 blah. And it's just to be a Nintendo fan, which I'm a big Nintendo fan. They've been a big part of my life throughout the years, and it does bother me that they're struggling, and it does bother me that they have these issues. But I still root for them, and I still buy their systems because I want those games. And he's talking about a boycott, and he's not even really boycotting them. He says he's still going to go out and buy the games. He's just going to buy them secondhand, so Nintendo doesn't get any money, which seems
Oh, I don't remember that part.
yeah,
in
he
the
says
article. He
yeah,
said that.
yeah, it's in the article.
Ooh.
He says he's going to go out and buy the games second if it's a game that he absolutely can't live without. He's going to go out and buy it secondhand, so Nintendo gets no money. The problem is if he's still buying like third-party games for these systems new, he's still giving Nintendo money. So whatever. But the entire article, and you read his reasons. And the big thing is, all the reasons that he lists, you can easily label it. You can easily throw it at Sony. You can easily throw it at Xbox. All of these, I mean, these are corporations, okay? They're not your best friend that lives down the street. These are corporations who only care about one thing, the bottom line. And if you let them, corporations will act like toddlers. And if you let them do something, they will get away with it. So with these content strikes, YouTube is saying, "Who cares? Go for it. We're all for that." And they're going to do it. And it's not, even I got wrapped up into it back when Sega started this mess like a year ago. And I said, you know what? I don't feel like, because I thought it was an isolated incident. I thought it was just going to be one thing and then done. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to join. I think Johnny Millennium talked about it, and some other people talk about it. We're just not going to talk about Sega anymore, just to not, do this. And then as it became sort of the norm, I kind of realized this isn't going away. These are the new rules put in place.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't monetize my channel because when I was very young, I listened to a philosopher who said, "Mo money, mo problems." And that philosopher was Biggie Smalls. And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, that's great. You put ads on your videos, and you get a little bit of a little chunk of change every now and then. But the red tape that is involved with that is, people don't think about that. And everyone's bitching and complaining because they didn't think about the red tape. And the fact that, one, when you show gameplay footage, I don't care about this fair use thing. If you are monetizing your account, you are making money on someone else's copyrighted material by showing their copyrighted material in your video. Okay? I could probably get away with showing gameplay footage because I'm not making money off of this. I have I mean, GameStar has a full-time job too. We have a full-time jobs, and I don't buy things just for my channel. I buy the things that I want to have, and then I show them on my channel. So really, I don't feel like I'm spending an exorbitant amount of money because this is stuff I would have gotten anyway. I'm just sitting in front of a camera and talking about it like an asshole. But if you are making money on your videos and you're showing these things, it'd be like me getting up there and playing an entire Beatles record on a video and then having an ad at the beginning. Someone's going to be coming for me because I'm putting that music out there, just so people can listen to it for free, so they can't properly purchase it, because someone does own the copyrights to that. I believe it was Michael Jackson. I don't know who owns it now.
Yes, I think so.
It was Michael, yeah.
Since he's dead, I don't know who owns it now, but maybe his estate. But anyway, this is the environment we work in now. And, Gamester, he has 70,000 subscribers. And if you go with the analytics of YouTube, about a third of them are active viewers. So let's say about 23,000 people are constantly watching his videos. And I'm sure that brings in a significant chunk of change for his ad revenue. And there's a question that he showed a Game & Watch. It's 30 years old. Who the fuck cares? I believe the Game & Watch he showed was a Mario game, Game & Watch. And I'm sorry, but I think Mario is still a very viable product for Nintendo. So I mean, you can split hairs about it, but the legal fact of the matter, and this is a country of laws, unfortunately, that kind of get abused every now and then. But he showed a gameplay thing with Mario in it. Nintendo lawyers saw that and said, you know what? We can't have that. And I mean, these rules aren't new. These rules completely aren't new.
And just because I wanted to do this, because everyone's probably like, who just joined our chat?
I just looked down and I saw Alex, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I always wanted to. I've been wanting to do this since early on recording. Is have someone drop in, even though we got Bruno on here. We don't want to take from his spotlight, but I brought in Gamester Radio. I mean, no, sorry, Alex. Return.
Wow.
I brought in Return to Mother Base just to drop some knowledge on us just to get his touch on the topic, because I know he's playing Lightning Returns and probably wants to get back to it.
No, I've had enough. I'm up to day 8. I've had enough.
But I wanted to just get a surprise visit and someone else's thought on the topic. I told him what we were talking about, but Alex, what do you think of this whole thing with Gamester 81?
With the being through with Nintendo collecting and everything just being way too expensive.
He's not, he's not through with Nintendo collecting either. Oh, it's just right because he's. Oh, never mind. Go, Alex. I'm done.
Well, all I heard about laws and Mario and the police. That's all I got.
Okay, he's boycotting Nintendo completely. Like he's not. He's not. Yeah. Did you not see his article on his website?
No, I thought it was about the video. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm not going to buy no $500 game. That was what I was ready.
No. He got a content strike on his channel for showing a Game & Watch. Nintendo struck him with a copyright thing, and so now he's kind of trumped up all these reasons why he's boycotting Nintendo, but really it's all about the monetization on his channel.
In that case, I say welcome to the club that everybody else has to deal with.
But he's Gamester 81. Don't you know? He invented the YouTube gaming community.
Yeah.
Single-handedly with his bare hands.
All right. You know who else created the action movie genre with his bare hands? I would dare say Chuck Norris, but he can do things by himself, even if he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube, to me, it's a hobby. It's a thing you do for fun. It's a thing you do just to get out there and get out there with like-minded people. If you want to get, 2 cents for every 1,000 views, cool. Nothing against that. But because, a law that you may, say, oh, yeah, well, they're just looking out for their, why have I been noticed? That's contradictory. I haven't read the article. I'm just going off of what you just told me. But
yeah,
I'd say I did leak the article for you, but you probably wouldn't have time to read it, and because it's pretty lengthy when you put in there.
I wish I had my camera on, so when I looked down and saw Alex just pop onto the screen, you could see my face like, what the? Because I was still talking, and I was like, what the fuck?
And apparently I shared the wrong info with him, because hey, did you hear about the Gamester thing? I didn't know he meant I was talking about the video.
There is that video too, and it's just I don't know. There's a thing called consumer choice. Personally, I'm not planning on buying an Xbox One, but I'm not boycotting Microsoft, and that's another thing too. The 360 had a 100% fail rate. How many of us here have all bought multiple 360s?
Mine's still kicking.
Your original white one is still kicking?
No, I got a slim 250 with the Kinect.
Okay.
I got it way late. I basically, it was when that whole thing with when that guy said the world was going to end. The day before it ended, I bought a 360. I woke up the next day and went, "Fuck, I have no money."
He lied to me.
Actually, my original white did last until I decided to trade it in for the slim. So it made the tour of duty.
Okay,
I still have mine.
Let me put it down. 99.9% fail rate. And no one is like, let's boycott Microsoft because they put out a shitty product. It's just let's line up and buy another one. And it was a beautiful marketing strategy by Microsoft.
But he's like a big name, and it's I don't know if he's gonna have any difference on whether he gets anyone I'll follow behind you, lead the rally.
If the responses to that article are any indication, no, he's not. Everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about?
But it just seems I don't know, just having a guy actually come out and say something like that, especially a guy who's supposed to have this huge collecting, he collects everything. It just seemed weird, and I don't know, Bruno, we haven't let you get to say anything on it yet or chance. So, what are you guys thinking on it?
I think he's just, I don't know, butthurt. Um,
That's what this reads like.
yeah, I haven't really read the article, to be honest. I just, saw you guys talk about this on the Facebook AGP page, and I don't know. I think I agree with Dustin. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, and I think the reason why he's doing this is because he's not getting his YouTube monies because that video got taken down or whatever happened.
Well, interesting. What about you, Chance?
Well, his opinions aren't going to sway me one way or the other, but what I have to say about it is, like, if you're going to, like, have conviction to do something, do it fully, If you're going to boycott Nintendo, do it all the way. Sell your shit, sell all your Nintendo shit, and, stop buying games firsthand or secondhand, whatever. Like, if you're going to, like, be so bold and say something so monumental and believe that you're going to make a difference, try and make a difference. Like, I don't know. It's just dumb.
Or
Like, go all in.
Yeah, go all in. Or try to make a difference in something that actually matters.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if he's gonna do this, like, if this is gonna be his thing to have conviction about, at least do it. Not just pussyfoot around the topic, because, like Bruno said, he's butthurt about his video getting taken down. Yeah. It's such a horrible reason to do something.
And what's great is in the comments, like Just was saying, just reading through those is pretty great. That I don't guess she can get mad because she put it out in public in the comments. But Holly, dogging my lens, like she put it down there. She asks Nintendo for permission all the time, and she never gets anything done with her channel to put up gameplay footage. So hey, get permission, and it's okay.
That's the beautiful thing about it, is because like these people are writing really excellent responses, not just like you fanboy or you that kind of stuff. It's like really thought out responses. And like one of the things he was pissed about was Nintendo Power being canceled. That had nothing to do with Nintendo because Nintendo sold off Nintendo Power to Futura. It had nothing.
Yeah, that was years ago too.
Yeah, and he keeps talking about like, wouldn't it be great if Nintendo held a Nintendo Championship event again? And it's like, no one wants that, but you. Why are you talking about this?
If it's not profitable, it doesn't make sense. I mean, why would Nintendo repurchase Nintendo Power if they're not going to make any money of it? I mean,
So I don't know. It just I guess that my I didn't finish my thought there. These responses are really well thought out and basically refute everything he says. And his only response is, "Well, you seem to be a really nice Nintendo fan. Thanks for reading." And it's just like. Yeah. He can't rebuttal anything, It's just like well, thanks for reading, You seem to be a Nintendo fan, I don't know.
And the only things I did notice, the ones that support them, and I won't shout their channels out or nothing, but it seems like mainly just other bigger YouTubers who are also monetized are the ones who are behind them. Like, you don't understand what it goes into making these films, and some of us kind of count on that, and. Yeah, this is some of the ones I've seen support.
Yeah. I don't know.
Here's a question: Have you guys ever been hit with a content strike?
No.
I mean, I know most of you dudes really don't use any gameplay footage, but I know SNESmapper, you have like actual gameplay in the background. Has that ever been a problem for you?
No, because I'm assuming because I don't monetize my videos, I never got any strikes so far.
Okay. Yep.
So. Yeah,
Go ahead, Dustin.
I was going to say, I'm under the impression that as long as you don't monetize, you don't get content strikes.
Because I got one once, and obviously my videos aren't monetized, but it was like the weirdest thing. It was just me playing Rondo of Blood, and just like talking and sucking at it.
Yeah.
And it came up saying I had music from Cole Porter in my video. Like, Cole Porter has nothing to do with Castlevania. He's a pianist, and he's dead. I was like... So I re-uploaded the video, and it did it again. I was like, "Oh, screw it!" So I just never put it up, and I reused the footage somewhere else.
I'm assuming the bots weren't really fine-tuned yet.
Yeah,
so I wonder how it discovers that stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's all algorithms, but to an extent, it's. I mean, you also have to think of it this way too. It's not like Nintendo. I don't think they have an intern sitting there all day just typing in Nintendo Video Game & Watch into YouTube. It's searching within algorithms, and then it reports it back to some sort of representative,
That's why Nintendo's having such financial trouble, is because they have all these paid interns scouring YouTube to take down games that are 81.
I got it wasn't a strike or nothing. I got an email warning me about, I did a top 10 Christmas movies, and I took the video clips from the movies, and it was longer than 30 seconds, because I think you're allowed, if you're doing a review, to have 30 seconds or something. I don't know of the audio from the movie. I took a chance on that one, though, but I went ahead and took them down, though.
Yeah.
But it was fun making it and having it up for the week I had it up. But yeah. So any last thoughts on it, you guys, before we change it? None. There we go.
This is a pretty lengthy article.
It is, but do you notice how it doesn't really say anything? Like it's a lot of talking, but not really making a point.
Review of a game which is really 20. Come on, Nintendo. Rather than seeing as stealing their products, I want you guys to see it as free advertising. First, all right. In his defense, though, this thing is 25 years old. I mean, honestly, if this
That's
was
true, but I believe it was a Mario Game and Watch.
It is. There he is on the side, and it looks like the Mario that was on my lunchbox when I was in the first grade. But I mean, I live in New York, so it's like if I walked into the Nintendo World Store and saw this thing, I would not be the slightest bit compelled to buy it, even after watching this video.
Yeah.
Because I hate Tiger handhelds and Game & Watch things. I never liked them as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't fault anybody for collecting them or anything. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I really just don't get it. But that's me.
Well, so there we go. Some stuff brewing in the gaming community. So if anyone else has thoughts on it, I'd love to hear comments, or if we have any subscribers left after this, since you're all probably Gamester fans.
You say that every episode.
But if we can go into some more topics. But before I let Alex go, we could talk about the games we've been playing recently, because I'm really interested in hearing how Lightning's Returns is going.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I didn't pick it up day one because I have a feeling it's going to get cheap quick. So I'd love to hear how Lightning Returns is going. So if you can just share with us what you're kind of playing right now, mainly Final Fantasy,
right.
Lightning Returns.
I'm going to phrase it this way. I've been playing Lightning Returns since the day it came out. And I also got, finally, after this frickin' snowstorm, my Bravely Default, which luckily didn't come all banged up. But I can definitely tell you, while I play Lightning Returns, I am building the town in Bravely Default.
And you're probably having more fun building the town.
Kinda.
Oh, no.
All right, but let me put it this way. This is what I initially thought when I popped in Lightning Returns. Thank God I played the other two games. If you're a new person coming into this, it makes no damn sense. Whatsoever.
I'm sure it makes no damn sense to someone who's played both games too.
No, it assumes you know everything.
Yeah.
It just like throws you in, like, Lightning. Oh yeah, Sarah. Who's Sarah? Oh yeah, the girl. It's like it makes no sense whatsoever. It looks pretty. It's kind of hard. When I first booted it up, I really enjoyed it. I thought what they were doing was really cool. I honestly, when it comes to like time management things, I normally don't care because I'm normally pretty good at it. But this game artificially makes you waste time. It really does make you waste time because they want you to play it more than once. And honestly, I'm trying to get as far as I can in one playthrough, because I don't foresee myself playing this again as a new game plus. Not because it's bad, just because there's a lot of waste.
So what do you think of the combat system, though? Because when I played the demo, it seemed pretty cool. And thinking of all the varieties they could have with the outfits, it just looked really cluttered in the HUD screen. What do you think of the combat?
The combat is by far the best part, and you have, other than maybe the EP system, which is not experience points, by the way. There's really no reason to participate in combat other than boss fights.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did hear there's no leveling system, really, isn't there?
You have to do quests. And some of the quests aren't even combat-based. Some of them are just like, hey, can you go get this thing for me? It is very MMO feeling. It's a lot of fetch quests.
Sounds like Sticker Star.
Kind of does.
Kinda, but prettier. Almost pornographic, I would say.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the costumes with lightning in them. I have to say, you could be making a point.
But it's like the story. it's. I mean, honestly, I mean, I know, Steve, I know you played WoW. It feels like that. You know, you take a quest, you get a little silly storyline, you go kill 10 things, come back, and then that's it. And then some of the quests are on a job board. So all you get is like a little paragraph saying like, "Oh, my mom is sick and she needs 10 dead rats." Why we don't know, but she needs 10 dead rats. And you go, you kill the 10 dead rat, you kill 10 rats, you come back, and then you get like plus 20 HP.
It reminds me of 10-2.
I never played 10-2, but I'm looking forward to the HD.
But see, what threw me off with it is, I mean, I kind of know what the story about. It sounds like, pretty much it sounds like Lightning is like a Jesus figure almost in the game. Like she's the savior of the world. Is that really kind of what it is? Or
they refer to her as the savior a lot. Yeah. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but the whole thing seems very pretentious. Like, they're making Lightning out to be like... I mean, I really like the Lightning character. I really like the 13 series, despite, you know, most people.
Yeah.
But even I'm like, you know, my girlfriend's sitting there watching me play, and there's times I look over at her and I'm like, can you believe this? Like, this is...
she went from saving her sister to saving the universe. I don't know what's going on.
Now, mind you, she watched me play 13 too, and she really liked it. She thought, like, Sarah and everybody... She thought the whole story, as convoluted and as a mess as it was with paradoxes, it was really fun. So with this, she's like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, yeah, apparently she's Jesus with pink hair. Like, it makes no sense. And because it assumes you know everything, obviously, you know, some characters come back. So if you didn't play 13-2, you're not... Some of the characters that show up won't make any sense. Because I'm assuming most people played 13 and then said, screw this, and never played 13-2.
Steven, it sounds like Caius is coming back.
Hey, I'm enjoying that Caius is voice acting in Bravely Default, so that's pretty awesome.
I also enjoy his voice acting in Darksiders and in Persona games. And I never remember his name, but he's a great voice actor.
Alex is familiar with his entire film.
With his entire catalog. He's also done Shakespeare. But, you know, so far, I mean, I've put in like 20 hours so far. So I'm not hating it. I'm just kind of like, you know, there's a question mark floating above my head the entire time. I really don't know what they were thinking. And it kind of sucks because this was something I was really looking forward to the point where I purposely didn't start playing the fan translation of Valkyria Chronicles 3. I didn't start playing Trigger Happy Havoc. I didn't start playing Wild Arms 3. Like, I just put everything off. I didn't start playing the One Piece RPG I was really looking forward to, even though I hear it sucks. But now I'm just like, all right, as soon as I finish this, I can get on to the other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's kind of dragging, but it's only because it just makes the game longer by the way it has you do things.
You are just making me love Bravely Default even more just by talking about this game.
Oh, no, Bravely Default's fantastic.
Yes.
And if you get the merchant job, pump that thing up. I'm telling you right now, hedge risk is like the stupidest ability ever, but it's so funny.
Hedge risk is?
Yeah. It's like spend money to get a random status buff. And there's no money in the game.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I'm going to finish it, 13, I'm sorry, Lightning Returns, that is. But if you want to see how the trilogy ends, I'd say go for it. But at the same time, if you're not going to want to get on the bandwagon, I would be one of the first people to tell you wait for $20.
Yep.
Wait for $30.
Well,
I got 13 at 19. I got 13.2 at like 14, and I got this one at 60. So by law of averages, I'm still good. But I don't know. It feels like they were reaching for things, I guess. But I'm gonna do a discussion on it when I finish it because right now I'm kind of just like I'm kind of just confused by it.
Well, maybe it'll finish strong.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean,
not if the reviews I read are right.
Well, the game itself, technically, obviously Lightning has to save the world. It's the end of the world, whatever. And technically, the world ends in 5 days. But depending on what you do, you can put it up to 13 days. Ha ha ha. So
I get it.
And I'm on day 8. So clearly I'm doing something right.
Good.
But I don't know. I mean, I was excited for it to the point where I even bought a strategy guide for it, and I don't do that. And I bought that silly GameStop exclusive controller for it. And I normally don't do that either.
What?
I was gonna think I was gonna need a strategy guide with this one just because it's time management. I was like, well, great, I'm gonna need it.
I would, but even then, the strategy guide that they did make, I'm happy I got for 50% off because it's pretty, but it's not that great. It's like, I'm on page 84 and it's like, please reference page 219. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me use the iPad, which is also sitting next to me.
Nice.
So, Game Epic does a much better job.
Well, I'm
What
glad
kind
I
of,
got to hear some 13.2 talk. Go ahead, Bruno.
Yeah, what kind of reviews is Lighting Return getting, by the way? 'Cause I'm not following it too much.
Pretty mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6s, maybe a 7 here and there, 2s.
Which,
So
yeah, I'm sitting here being like the most hypocritical person because I was like singing the praises of Time and Eternity, and here I am like, yeah, Lightning Returns, fuck it.
Well, you know what it is too. I think it's not so much like a problem. I think somewhere along the line, somebody agreed inside a contract to make the 13 games a trilogy. And when it came to the third game, they were really like, okay, we really don't need to do anything. We could probably, they could have done like a DLC, like 4-hour adventure.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not even related, but like Blood Dragon, something just like a $15 on the side thing. It's over in 4 hours and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've read some people finish this game in 6 hours because the faster you finish this game, the easier it is. Because at least according to this book, after day 7, the monsters level up, but you don't level up. You just get more HP.
Oh my god.
So even like the stagger system from 13 and 13.2, if you're not built for some of these bosses, like one boss, I had to kill 2 days just grinding on quests. So, and I'm about to go back and fight him again. But I don't know. It's a very awkward system, I would say. It's a pretty
I'm still
game,
looking forward to giving it a try, though.
No, I would definitely say play it. Like, I'm not hating it. I'm just kind of, like I said, there's a question mark above my head.
You heard it here, folks. Alex?
You heard it first?
You heard it first here first?
I did play Bravely Default.
You heard it first here, folks. Alex is boycotting Square Enix because of Lightning Returns.
After I put a pre-order down for the stupid edition of Drakengard 3.
Yeah, me too.
I'm such an idiot for buying this. But
I have all these. Well, that's the sad thing. I have all these box sets coming, and I'm pretty sure Digital River handles all of them. So I'm just like,
they're all gonna come.
Oh god.
Well, actually, but before I let you guys go, let me tell you my story with ordering that damn thing. So
before he lets us go, guys.
Yeah.
Before he lets us go.
I'm sure the story you're going to tell is the exact same story that Calvin and I went through.
Is it with the Square Enix account mess?
Yes.
No, I already had one from Final Fantasy XI, so I didn't have.
I haven't heard this story, so yeah, go ahead. I haven't heard this.
All right, so this is what happened to me. So I'm at work and it's boring, and I have my iPad, and all of a sudden I get this thing that pops up, for joystick, and it's like, hey, there's a stupid edition available with Japanese voice acting and all this other crap, and I'm like, ooh, let's see where it is. I go to GameStop, can't find it. Go to Amazon, can't find it. Go to PlayAsia, can't find it. I go, oh, don't tell me. Sure enough, Square Enix store exclusive. So immediately, shit, Digital River. Because, mind you, I wanted to get the Ni no Kuni Wizards edition, and my credit card, the number got compromised, so I had to cancel it. And I called them to give them the new number. The guy said, oh, I don't know what to do, and then he just canceled the order, and I never got one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So I'm like, all right, well, I've ordered from the Square Enix store before, and I had no problem, so what could possibly go wrong? Well, so I put in my credit card info, and it says it's invalid. I'm like, okay. So I check. Sometimes you have to put your middle initial because my middle initial is on my card. Doesn't work. Check the number. Doesn't work. Check the expiration date. Doesn't work. Check the spelling of the billing address. Doesn't work. Change around the shipping address. Doesn't work. So I say, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to use PayPal. It's easier. It's automatic. It's finished.
And PayPal doesn't work.
No,
What
PayPal works.
What?
PayPal works.
It didn't work
PayPal...
It didn't work for TG Appalachian and I. We had to use our credit. Yeah, we had to use our credit cards.
All right, no, so it worked for me. Now this is where it gets funny. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, cool. I ordered it, and I'm waiting for the confirmation email. And a few hours go by, and I don't get one. Then my phone rings, and I pick it up. Hi, is this Alex? Yes, it is. Hi, this is so and so from Chase Bank. How are you today? I'm like, I'm good. It's like we just want to report that we had $100 charge occur in rapid succession 4 times on your account. I'm like, what?
Ooh.
And
I'm
they're
glad
like,
they
yeah.
called you.
And they're like, yeah, from a Square Enix. I'm like, yeah. 3 of those are in error. So let me contact the vendor and I'll figure this out. Okay, just want to make you sure. So we'll approve the first one. I'm like, okay, cool. So I called Digital River and I explained the situation.
I don't know what to do. I'm canceling all of them.
No, he goes, well, since the charge went through directly to your bank through PayPal, we can't do anything to fix it. You're going to have to reach out to PayPal to fix it. I'm like, okay. So I sent PayPal an email. They got back to me fairly quickly. And they said it'll take up to 45 days.
Whoa.
So I'm in the hole, 300 and change. And I'm like, first of all, A, thank God I had enough money for that. But 2, I look at my coworker. I'm like, yo, man, you're buying me lunch. Like, I have no money. So PayPal, they were nice enough to credit me the money until, it gets resolved. But
Yeah.
they were useless. He was like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I could cancel all of them. I'm like, does that get my money back? He's like, no. So
Wow.
as of right now, I have my account still shows I have 2, but I'm only charged for 1.
Sweet.
So let's see what happens. If if it all goes according to plan, knock on wood, maybe I can help somebody out get the
That's awesome.
Japanese pre-order voiceover.
Well, see, our thing was we were trying to use PayPal, and when we would confirm the order, it would kick us back into the shopping cart. And it wouldn't. There would be no submitted order. So finally, I tried using TG Appileus used his credit card, and I finally said, okay, well, I'll try my credit card, and it went through. But I'm totally expecting to get like 3 copies of this thing because the 2 times I did the PayPal thing and it didn't get through, I'm fully expecting just to be like you in the hole and get 3 copies of this.
Yeah, nobody will want them.
Yeah, I know.
I guarantee you, as excited as I am for that game as somebody who really didn't like the first Dragon Guard at all, I have a feeling it's not going to be that good.
Yeah.
But it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like, visually, it just looks so cool. It looks so quirky, so over the top. And, I mean, that's what made the series good in the second one, at least. First one I thought was kind of empty.
I know that's on me and Dustin's playlist here.
Yep.
Hopefully soon, so cool. Well, thanks for dropping in, Alex. It was cool for you to do the surprise thing with me.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Anytime.
You have to go out with your usual sayonara message.
What happened, Alex? Thanks for watching.
Yeah. I love it because it's like, are you not Alex all the time?
No, sometimes I go by Alejandro.
Well, there you
All right,
go.
guys. Happy
See you, man.
podcasting. I'll catch you later.
All
See you, Alex.
dude.
See ya, man.
And that was Return to Mother Base. Sorry, Bruno. I just always wanted to try that during a podcast. Just
No, that's fine,
invite
man.
someone randomly. And he's always on. And I was like, I'm going to do it this time. So, really cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Alex, if you're listening.
I
for
love how
coming
you-
in and doing it.
I love how you brought him on and didn't even like prep him at all. And he was like,
I did. I was like, did you see the Gamester thing? I thought for sure he was on the same wavelength with me. Like, it was the article. And I forgot all about that video he did about not buying games.
I forgot about that.
So I was like, well, great. That worked out great. I picked a perfect person. But anyways, games you've been playing. Bruno, let's hear your voice. What do you got going on over there, man?
All right. Just before the podcast, in fact, I turned off my PS3 and jumped into Skype. I just finished Far Cry 3. Finished getting the platinum trophy for it. I beat the game like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. Had a really fun time.
Nice.
Yeah, great first-person, open-world first-person shooter, and really fun. And what prompted me to get the game was, the Blood Dragon discussion that Dustin did. So
Yes.
I bought Blood Dragon first because it was on sale for PlayStation Plus members, and but I decided to play the the original vanilla Far Cry 3 game, and I've been very, very surprised by it. Very fun game, a little bit long. It takes about 20 to 25 hours if you want to 100% completed it, but it was a really, really fun game. So I think I'm gonna jump into either Blood Dragon next, or I don't know. I have so many PlayStation 3 games. I have a huge backlog, and PlayStation
I'm
Plus
glad-
is not helping the cause.
I'm glad glad you got it off of Dustin's video and not my video from months ago. That's cool. But yeah, Dustin's video did it for
Oh,
you.
yes. It's good to be the king.
No. I remember your video, and I know Alex. In fact,
Oh
he
yeah,
also
Alex too, man.
he had a lot of positive things to say about Blood Dragon. So I'm looking forward into playing that game, but I'm not sure. I have so many PlayStation 3 games and PlayStation
I'd say
Plus.
yeah, give some Far Cry a breather and soak that in a little bit later on this year. And since you just played 3, I know me and Dustin got 3 on PS3, and I just picked it up on the Steam sale. So
Yeah.
glad to hear it's pretty fun. Looking forward to getting into it.
I'm really looking forward to it, but someone told me I might not like it as much because Blood Dragon really streamlines things, and I guess there's a lot of like extra stuff you have to do in Far Cry 3. Like I think you get to make your own ammunition in that, right?
Yeah, you can go hunting and you can craft, new pouches to carry more ammo, carry more like C4 rockets, explosives. But
Okay.
it's pretty. I mean, I don't know. You can ignore a lot of the side things, but
Yeah, I won't.
it's recommended because it's pretty fun to go,
Yeah.
get sidetracked and go hunting and stuff. It's really, really fun.
Did you ever feel like it was a slog at any time?
No, not at all.
Okay, because that's what they said. Like you're gonna get bogged down and all these other things. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So Far Cry 3 for the PlayStation 3, and
I like
then
games. Sorry to cut you off again, but I just like games where you can like hunt things. Like you could do deer in Tomb Raider. You could do stuff like that in Red Dead. I know you really like Red Dead Redemption, Bruno. I love
Yes.
just being able to hunt things for some reason in games.
yeah, if
But-
you like hunting Far Cry 3, then it's the go-to game because you can hunt like just about anything. So really, really fun.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's for the PlayStation 3. And then on the 3DS, I've been, I guess, juggling between Zelda A Link Between Worlds and the demo for Bravely Default, even though I do have the full game. I want to complete the demo first before I jump into the full game. So I don't know if you guys recommend that or
I'd say
not.
forget it and go into the game.
Yeah, I would say that too because I mean you're gonna get
There's no need for any of those bonus items they give you.
and don't you get like bonus villagers too for completing it?
Yeah, you do. I think I started off with 6 bonus villagers. I can't remember.
Which is not really that big of a deal anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruno,
Yeah.
I would say just forget the demo and go right into the game because it's so good.
More importantly, I want to know, how does one juggle between something when you're playing Link Between Worlds?
That's
I
true.
couldn't put it down.
That's the one
But no-
thing. I think it's a very good game, but it just hasn't met my, I guess, really,
Oh,
really
sad
high
face.
expectations.
So we'll see. He's an Ocarina kid. He's not a Link to the Past kid.
True. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's why.
I love A Link to the Past. It's one of my favorite games of all time
Then
as
what
well.
the hell's your problem?
I don't know. It's just I can't quite get the rental system. I don't
Yeah,
I
can
don't
see that.
understand its purpose. I mean, I really don't get its purpose because you can rent everything.
Yeah.
and
I think
Um,
it kind of makes it feel more open world in a way. I guess that's what I liked about it. But
Yeah.
once you get to a certain point, you can actually buy the items, and then you don't have to worry about losing them. And
Yeah.
the big thing was losing them. It was just such a hassle to rebuy everything. Cause,
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Or
sad to hear about because Rodman just recently talked about that in that game talk he did with Johnny, where he wasn't liking it because of that system and because you don't have a reason to go into dungeons. But there's things in the dungeons to still get, man. That's like, is he missing something?
It's
Because
like-
there's items in there you need. Get them.
you have to beat the dungeons to complete the game. I don't. It's like
And there's special suits. There's other
Yeah.
special gear. I mean, there's something to look for still in the dungeons, not just the item.
yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's just, the rental system got me a little bit. I mean, the one thing is that so far the game has been somewhat easy for me, so that risk of losing everything hasn't really, affected me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm pretty close to the end. I think I have 3 more dungeons or temples, whatever they're called.
Cool.
And I think one of the reasons why I'm not enjoying the game as much is I think the order that I'm playing the temples is a little bit off, I guess, because you can play them in any order as far as I'm concerned. And I'm pretty much, getting to the end of the game, and I guess, talk to the Mia Mia, creature or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So it would have been nice for me if I talked to that, creature or whatever much earlier, so I could, look for them while I, go from dungeon to dungeon and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think the order of the dungeons that I'm tackling or going through, it's a little bit messed up, and I don't know. But it's a very good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a really fun game, and can't wait to finish it. And so yeah, and that and Bravely Default, the demo, like I said, I wasn't sure if I should jump into the full game or not, because I've read, some people were saying that, it'll be better if you like finish your village off and stuff like that. But it's been very slow because I only have like 1 worker so far. So he's been doing all the work, and
I don't think that the work you do in the village, I don't think that carries over into the game. You still got to start from scratch. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, if you got buildings up to level 4 or whatever, it's not going to carry over.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna jump into the full game then.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's for the 3DS, and then let's see, for the Vita, I finished Resistance: Burning Skies a few days ago.
Oh, cool! Yeah, how was that? I've been interested in picking that up. I know it's really cheap right now.
Below average first-person shooter. It feels like a PlayStation 2 era first-person shooter, to be honest. I sort of enjoyed bad first-person shooters, so for me, it was good enough for me to play it until the end. It's pretty short. It's only like 6 hours long, and it's like a PlayStation 2 era first-person shooter. It feels very dated. It feels very simplistic in the gunplay and the progression and all that, but it was good enough for me to go all the way and finish the game, and pretty easy platinum trophy as well. You don't really have to do anything. You just have to beat the game and play 1 online match, which, by the way, it's fully hacked. Like, I just went I just went into the online match to get my trophy and get the hell out, and I would respawn and get killed immediately, like by this one guy. So he finished the round with like 33 kills and no deaths. So
you said this was the Resistance Burning Skies one, right?
Yes, Resistance Burning Skies for the Vita, and
okay.
It was okay. I bought it for like under $10, so it was an okay game.
Because I'm really interested in Killzone Mercenary that's on there, because I hear that's a pretty good one. Have you snatched that one up yet?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for the game to drop in price a little bit more.
Same here, man. Yeah, same here.
But yeah, from what I've seen and heard, the game is it's the go-to first-person shooter for the Vita. So I'm looking forward into purchasing that game at one point. So now I'm not really sure what to jump into next, because the only 2 Vita games that I have right now are unplayed are Persona 4 and Virtue's Last Reward. So they're both very, very long games. So I think I'm going to hold off until I, finish Zelda and Bravely Default, because otherwise I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah, I'd say do some Bravely Default after Zelda.
Because, I'm 30 hours in the Bravely Default, and I think I'm only halfway through the story.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna spend some time.
Sometimes it doesn't feel. I guess when we talk about it, we'll share our thoughts on it. Sometimes the time just flies though when you're sitting there grinding. You don't realize 30 hours is going by.
Because they've streamlined that game so much that playing. I really want to listen to Scott Ultimate Floyd's review of it, because as much as he had a problem with Final Fantasy V and the grinding, I think this is going to be like the game for him, because you can just. Oh, yeah. You can play it with just the control stick.
Early comments in the chat seem to think that he's enjoying it, so hopefully that's how it's going.
So you can auto battle, right?
You can. Okay.
Man.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. So in the battle system, you can set.
Are you done with what you're playing, Bruno?
No, but I guess you can go ahead and.
Okay. Well, he can explain it real quick.
Well, we're just talking Bravely Default.
Yeah.
But, you can set it up so one, you can speed the battle times up to a ridiculous speed, so it drastically cuts down the battles. You can set it up so it auto battles, and you can set it up so all your characters brave 4 times and attack.
Mhm.
So you can just, honestly, I was at work
3-second battles? Is that how long?
Pretty much. There's only a few times where you actually have to watch because sometimes the enemies will just gank up on you. But I was at work doing a spine case today, and I was just running around with the control stick while I was doing my X-rays.
Because they map the action button to either the left bumper or right on the D-pad, so you don't even need to put your right hand on the controller.
Yeah.
Because that's how, if you're auto battling, it's just
so if you're
sit back, relax, and grind.
That's why I love games like this over games like SMT, because sometimes you just want to put on like a movie or like a CD, and you just want to mindlessly grind, and you can't mindlessly grind in SMT games.
Oh no, you blink in that game and you're
done. Yeah.
So yeah, also another game that I played for the 3DS. I just downloaded it yesterday and I completed the first chapter. Is Liberation Maiden by
nice
Suda51. Yeah, it's on sale right now, so I think it's only like $3. So I decided to pick it up. I'm a huge Suda51 fan, so
I think all of the Guild games are on sale right now. So
Yes, I picked
Starship
that one up.
Dammery, get it.
I need to play that. Shit.
Yeah, I bought that one. I forgot what is it called?
Did you get Crimson Shroud?
No, I'm gonna get it. I need to put more money into my account, but I'm gonna buy those 3 because I already have Attack of the Friday Monsters. That's another pretty fun level 5 game. So yeah, that's for the 3DS, and I guess for the Wii U, I've been playing Mario 3D World. I'm still trying to get 100% completion in the game, but I think I'm gonna jump into other games because I have my Wii U backlog is growing a little bit. So
my son's had that game 100% weeks ago. Man, what is going on over there?
No, yeah, man, that game is really fun. I just want to go back and play each level with each different character because they all control differently, and it's just a joy to play those levels. They're so different from one another. Really, really fun game. But I do have a bunch of Wii U games that I want to tackle through. I think I'm going to go for Pikmin 3 the next because I have it. So seems like a fun game.
That's one that's on my radar. I think I'm the only one here, being a Suda51 fan, who doesn't have Liberation Maiden. So I need to go get that because I know Chance, you said you have that too, right?
I beat it last fall, I think. It's awesome. It's too short. That's the main complaint I have about Liberation Maiden, is it was like kind of a cliffhanger ending too. I was like, really? It's over?
Probably well worth $3.
Oh yeah, I think I paid like $5 for it, but yeah, it's really good for for the price, and
they I think at the end of last year they released a sequel in Japan. It's like a visual novel for the PlayStation 3. I was reading that. It's very, very weird, but we'll probably never see that game.
Oh, probably not.
Have you guys played there's another Suda51 game. I think it's only available on Steam, on the Xbox Live and the PSN, and I can't remember the name right now. But
Broken Sword, something like that.
I know you're talking about
the side-scrolling one.
I think so, yeah.
I still haven't downloaded. It looks like kind of Shadows of the Damned graphics, just side to side. It looks awesome, but no, I haven't downloaded it. I keep forgetting about it, just like you, like the name of it even. I think it's Broken Sword, but I can't remember. But no, I haven't tried it yet.
So yeah, that's about it. Games that I've been playing.
Awesome. Well, what?
I was gonna say, you haven't thrown in Outlast yet.
Ooh, no.
Oh man,
I'm too scared.
Oh, and you should. I can't. Oh man, it's bad.
See, and that's the game. Remember, Dustin, when I came up there, I wanted that to be like what we tried to play and beat.
I know,
but I know people have taken for it.
It's so rough. Oh man,
I've watched some playthroughs, and
that night is just awful.
Black Knight Sword, that's what it's called, and it is on PSN, Bruno. So there you go. You can get on PlayStation Network.
I'll pick it up definitely in the near future. But yeah, Outlast I haven't played yet. Yeah, my PS4 is just
All right. Well, Bruno, you have to. The rule for me is I'm only playing it at night and in the dark.
headphones
Man,
on.
I don't.
you're
I
really
don't have a
putting it
way.
on yourself.
Yeah, I don't really have a way to do headphones. So is it? Wait. I can put headphones in the controller, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if my headphones would fit in that jack or not.
Hey man, tax season coming around. You get that set. I guess Arrow just got because those look sexy,
Those look sexy.
and they would go great with your new PS4.
Stop trying to spend my money. Oh shit! My headphones fit my controller. Well, I am going to pee my pants. That's all there is to it. I might pee and poop my pants while I play this game.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
haven't.
wanna
I haven't even tried the game yet. I've heard it's pretty scary. That's about it. That's all I know. So yeah.
Steven will probably be a man and be like, "What? This ain't scary," and go through the entire
Bunch
game.
of wusses. No, what are y'all doing? No, it's entertaining watching people play it though. Just seeing them jump out of their skin. I watched an Adam Sessler on their channel. They did a whole playthrough of it. Took them forever to get through it, but it was just hilarious seeing them just jump out of their skin.
I will stand outside. Like you can like peek around doors, and I will stand outside in the hallways and like peek in a room multiple times before I go into a room. And then it's like as soon as you walk into a room, it drops to pitch black, and you have to bring up your camera and put on the night vision, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" I mean, it's like as creepy as Silent Hill is. Like Outlast makes that look like Candyland.
Wow.
That's why for Amnesia, it's like that same thing. When you
Yeah.
know you can't fight back,
Yeah,
it's 10 times worse. It just heightens everything when you know you can't fight back, and you got to run and hide, and hopefully they don't find you. It's something about that type of style, which seems to be the way a lot of things are going, like the new Alien, that looks awesome. Alien Absolution, Isolation.
Isolation.
Actually, I mean, it's following the same type of formula, and I'm
Yeah.
stoked for it because that's what Alien should be like. There should be 100 of them, and you're shooting. It
Yeah.
should be like Alien 1.
When I was buying Colonial Marines, like some guy that was standing there, it was like, "What do you even waste your money on that for?" And I was like, "Well, it's kind of a joke with my friends." And he's like, "I think it's kind of a joke with everyone." And I had to give it to him. I was like, "That was a pretty good one."
I had a buddy of
it-
mine just picked it up too to play with us, and he actually started the story to test it out, and he said it's the graphics, everything are so bad, it's so laughable.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to playing through it and just laughing like crazy with you guys.
It's gonna be a good time.
Well, Chance just left for a second, and he was going to be the next one to talk about his games. But I guess I can go ahead and talk about mine. I haven't been playing too much. So for me, as we've been the main topic, which it probably deserves its own minisode here, Dustin, if we finish it, is Bravely Default, just to kind of go over and share our thoughts on the game. But I mean, what can I say? It's the one I've been playing the most. Like we talked about, just the way the auto battle system set up in it, it's just fantastic. The voice acting I'm really enjoying. There's some ups and downs of some characters, but just the story, it's just tried and true. If people are fans of the classic Final Fantasies, which I know Dustin's more adept on that than me, it just seems like the go-to game for you. If you've been clamoring for that Final Fantasy touch that you're not getting these days, I mean, it's got to be the game. That is the one. The way that the combat system's so much fun with the variety of jobs that you have at your disposal. There's so many ways you could play through this game. Like Alex was talking about the merchant. I haven't even touched my merchant. Have you touched yours, Dustin?
I
That
have,
class?
I have, but just because when you have a merchant in your party, you get more
More gold, right?
gold. Yeah.
So, and yeah, I'm finding out now that what happened, man. Like the special weapons went from $3,000 to 40, 50, now 99 grand. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck, man? The prices jumped like crazy.
My favorite thing
But,
is I unlocked the growth egg, and that thing costs 500,000.
Holy smokes! What was that under? What shop?
It's one of the I think it's the accessory shop.
Oh,
But
Okay.
with that, you get no money, but your experience and your job points double.
holy smokes! If they haven't made leveling easy enough,
Yeah.
there you go. There's some
Well, you have to get 500,000 gold to buy it first.
But I'm just loving the game. Like Dustin, I'm halfway through. I started chapter 4, and that's where I kind of left it sitting at this evening, right at the start of that. And like I said, I think about halfway through the story. It's I mean, it seems like your staple type of story, but it's just I know Chance. I wish he was here listening, but the thing with he
I
was
am
afraid of
listening.
this job. Oh, you're back. Oh, it
Yeah,
says
I'm
on the screen he's back.
He's back.
Don't
I'm
don't be.
back.
I really think you should give us. I don't know if you have you tried the demo on it, Chance.
Nope, haven't even
It's
touched it.
man, I know you're afraid of this job system, but I think this implements the job system perfectly. You don't need to be intimidated at all. I think I could beat this game with any job. You don't need to worry about having a set type of party or nothing. So
Uh,
far through the game, it seems that lenient. At least have a healer.
The only
kinda,
thing you have
but-
to do is level up a ranger and then get the
Ooh, yeah.
the bow lore skill and just put it on everybody. And equip everyone with bows, and you're done.
You're done. Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of ways to break the game. A lot of people
Yeah.
are putting up strategies with they're doing 999 basic attacks, but anyways, it's fun. The environments are really diverse. I really enjoy the 3D effect on it. I've been playing mostly with the 3D on, and I'm enjoying it. The only downfall I'd say, the soundtrack does sound great, but it repeats a lot of the music. I don't know if you noticed that, Dustin, going through. A lot of the same music's getting repeated. I don't know if maybe it switches out in the second half. And I just finished a series of quests where, man, I did a lot of traveling with no fighting or nothing near the end of one of the chapters, and that wasn't boring or nothing because I just grind along the way. But it kind of made me wish I had a quick travel option if I wanted it, even though the airship you have in it moves pretty quick. But it was some long traveling I had to do, but no biggie. Still loving it. It's amazing how the 3DS again, beginning of the year, last year Fire Emblem, this year Bravely Default. I don't think that system can do wrong.
But there's no
3DS
game. But there's no. But Steven, there's no games for these Nintendo systems.
Nintendo is when it comes to this handheld. When it comes to this handheld, it is amazing. They knock it out the water, and I know the Wii U's gonna pick up. So, but other than Bravely Default, because I'll let Dustin talk more about that. Games I just popped in, started playing yesterday. Hearthstone, the free like card battle game that Blizzard has released based on the World of Warcraft universe. I sat down yesterday and 3 hours just went by and I didn't even realize it because I was sucked into this card game. And me being a recent learner of Magic and Dustin showing me the ropes on that, I've been wanting to play with Dustin online. Like if there's a way we could play Magic against each other, it just seems too far out there to try to work something with cameras and everything. But this game, it just seems to borrow so many elements from Magic, a mana pool, just your basic attack and defense. That's all you got, really. And you just work from there. And it just seems so simplistic yet deep, and it looks awesome. There's so many different ways you can build decks, controlling deck, full-on burn decks. It just screams Magic to me from what I know about it. And I don't know if you got to look up anything, Dustin, or if you're just going off my word or anything. But I really think you'll like it since it is for free.
Yeah, I'm just going off your word, and then once the iPad version's up and running, I'll get that.
Yeah, that should be out here hopefully this year. And like I said, it's for free, guys. I mean, they do have an option to. There's a different arena you can go in where you actually have to pay money or you earn gold through the game by playing through just battling people and stuff and completing quests. But I won't get into all that. But there is a pay feature to it, but you don't have to pay a cent to still have fun. And mainly, I just wanted to do it just to be able to play with friends and be cool to play with other people in the community. And the last thing that I wanted to say I did play, but I'm never getting a chance to play, was Lego Marvel Superheroes on the Wii U.
Nice.
Picked it up because they had, I showed that off in the chat, they had, was it you, Bruno, who mentioned the sale, or was it Rusty?
I think it was Rusty.
It was Rusty, yeah. He said that it was on sale for $20 at Toys R Us, and I mean, it's a $60 game or $50 game still
Right.
on the Wii U. So I rushed online to see if any were in stock. None of them were in stock around me. Went to Target to see if I could price match. None in stock there. Went to Walmart, and they said I had to have a physical ad. I couldn't show them the ad on my phone. I was like, what kind of crap is that? It's the same ad, but you can't do it. So then I said, what in the heck? I'll just go to the Toys R Us, get the physical ad, and come back. Went to Toys R Us, and of course they had one copy of the game there. So I should have just went to Toys R Us in the first place, just the website was wrong. But yeah, I've really liked it. It was pretty cool. I for the 2 or 3 hours I got to play in it, it seems really fun, and it's my first Lego experience, so I'm really enjoying it.
I heard it's
Go
a
ahead,
pretty
Dustin.
I said I heard it's a pretty massive game. Like you could spend like 40 to 60 hours in it.
I played for 3 hours, and it says I've only completed 1.8%. So
Yeah.
it's pretty big.
Yeah.
But I can't get near my Wii U because my son is taking it over for Mario. So it went
That's all right.
from
Start him off right.
Yep.
he is just it's amazing what he's doing in that game. So whenever I get a chance, I try to play that game because I mean, for a first time Lego game for me, I mean it's awesome. I've loved it. So I highly recommend it because all the superheroes are in there and stuff from Marvel Universe. So, but other than that, that is it. Really trying to work on Bravely Default and get that hammered out. So I'm gonna pass it on to Chance.
Yay! Okay, well, I'm not playing Bravely Default at all.
Boo!
Don't own it and haven't played the demo. I gotta say, it's strange experience. Like hearing you guys when the demo first came out, it was kind of hit and miss with a lot of people actually, and not just.
You're saying it
not
was
just
hard, right? It seemed so
Yeah.
hard at
It
first.
seemed
Like-
very hard in the demo. Yeah.
like the people in the chat, you guys, and then other people in the gaming community, you're just kind of like, man, this is going to be so hard, you know. And I was pretty turned off by it. And then the game comes out, and everybody is just flipping shit about how awesome it is. So I went from not even wanting the game to like, okay, I probably should have, just pre-ordered this, But
I think in the demo when we all
They
figured out, oh, we can brave this many times in
Yeah.
a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really figuring out. But plus, they kind of drop you as a level 1 character in a place that's built for like level 8s.
in
So
the
it's-
demo.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's like, ah! I got
So the
killed
demo was
first
kind of
battle.
misleading.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
The
didn't
game-
even try the demo, so I can't
Yeah.
say.
The game eases you into it because the demo drops you down there with like 8 jobs or something, and it just lets you kind of explore the different aspects of it. Whereas the
Mhm.
game sort of eases you into it, like most RPGs do.
Okay.
Does the
Well-
demo transfer your levels and your job levels?
No, because you have jobs in the demo that I don't even have yet in the game.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah,
So again, just start the game.
yeah. Oh, the only thing
Yeah.
the only thing the demo is going to get you is a few more villagers and some extra items that really don't matter.
Okay.
All right, Chance, go ahead.
That's fine. And being that it is a spiritual sequel to Four Heroes of Light, part of me really wants to play that first, even though I know that it is a different
No.
game, and that But see, here we are polarized again because Alex really liked Four
I
Heroes
know.
of Light, and then you don't really like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But-
I'm still torn.
But I bet you anything that if you told Alex, if we still had Alex here, and we asked him Bravely Default or Four Heroes of Light, he'd probably go, Bravely Default.
Well,
I hope he approves of
I
that
can't
impression.
wait. I can't wait until he listens.
I really want to get Four Heroes of Light also, because actually that's one of the games that really finally convinced me to buy a 3DS, or excuse me, an original DS when it came out. But then I never even got that game, so I don't know. I was really late to the DS party as well. I didn't even get a DS till the DSi XL was out, and that was my first DS system, and then I ended up not even getting that game. But I always kind of wanted to play it, and because I do enjoy classic Final Fantasy quite a bit, and I had heard that that's kind of
Yeah, I would say
the
play
way
it.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say hold off on playing Bravely Default to play that first.
Okay, fair enough. So actually, games that I am playing or have finished lately, I don't know if last episode I talked about Singularity at all. I did finish that a couple of weeks ago. Loved it. It's a really great first-person shooter, and Bruno and I have talked a little bit about it, and because I know that you played it and finished it, not too long ago. Wasn't it like last fall or something like that?
Yeah, a couple of months ago, I think.
Yeah, it
Yeah, a
was-
couple months ago.
I think I enjoyed it more than you did, but there again, the game that I compare it to, BioShock, you played first and really
Yes.
loved it. So
Yes.
now that I've played this game and I finished BioShock as well, I get it. This is a definitely a like bastardized version of the brilliance that is BioShock, because I don't know what happened the first time that I played this game, but for some reason, this time, it just worked. And it just clicked, and I could not stop.
Didn't you say it because you were trying to play it too much like a first-person shooter?
Yeah. And I tried to follow your advice as best as I could, and just approach it, from a completely different standpoint, and it worked, because like I said in my discussion, I kind of tried to not shoot things for a long time until the enemies started getting a little bit tougher, and then you had to. It's like, so I tried as hard as I could to just use the wrench for as long as I could, and even towards the end of the game, I was still using it, more than other weapons.
That was my most used weapons, because when you buy like the tonics and the it gets like really powered towards the end of the game.
I really loved the wrench, and I had the one where it froze your enemies after you hit them with the wrench. That was awesome, because all you had to do was hit them twice, freeze them with the first hit, and then just smash them apart with the second hit.
Yes,
it was brilliant. It just really worked, and I fought myself so hard to not just go ahead and start BioShock 2, but I did hold off.
Yeah, because I think if you would have put BioShock 2 in, you probably would have got 3 or 4 hours into it, and then it would have just kind of got swept away for something else.
Yeah, and you're probably absolutely right. So I'm glad that I waited. That said, I did get PlayStation Plus finally.
Yeah.
My wife, as awesome as she is, she for Valentine's Day hooked me up with a subscription to PlayStation Plus. So,
is it the year-long one or just?
Actually, just 3 months is what I got. But I figured by the end of 3 months, I'll probably be convinced that I need to shell out for the rest of the year.
I was going to say, I think on the Plus, you won't be able to play the free games when it expires, unlike the Xbox One. So.
I intend on continuing.
Sweet.
And that's kind of the reason that one of the reasons why I let Gold expire was I kind of knew that at some point I would be getting PlayStation Plus. And so that's what I did. And yes, I got Infinite with that. And
Thanks, Whit.
Yeah, for real. Super excited for that, and I did get all the other ones: XCOM, Borderlands 2, Metro Last Light, and Brothers: Tale of Two Sons. So I've just got a ton of stuff to play now.
Yeah, you need to play Brothers.
Yeah, I know. That might happen sooner than later, actually, because I hear it's pretty short and really awesome.
But I'm not going to talk too much about Brothers because I don't want to weave a beautifully woven tapestry.
Okay.
Ooh, I like how you put that. Nice.
Well, that's what that troll wrote on my. I talk with my words like I'm weaving a beautifully woven.
Okay. Well, some things that I actually am playing. A couple of oddities.
Chance, sorry to interrupt you, but just a quick tip. Now that you have PlayStation Plus, even if I don't think you have a Vita, right? You don't own a Vita.
I wish I did.
I think if you go and hit download or purchase, PlayStation Plus remembers those games. So if in the future you get a Vita, you can just download them for free before they expire. So it's a good way to just hit the buy for free button, and then on the future you can download them if you get a Vita. So
awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'll definitely do that too, because a Vita is actually probably my next console purchase. I'm in lieu of a Wii U or a PS4 or Xbox One. That's probably where I'm going next. Just because I don't know, I tend to enjoy handheld games a little bit more, and there is a ton of good stuff on the Vita now.
I was gonna say, there's more stuff on the Vita than on the other systems.
Yeah, and
plus,
new bundle is coming out.
New bundle?
Yeah, new bundle for the Vita. I think it dropped down to $200, and it comes with Borderlands 2 and a 8 gig memory card.
Is that one of the Slims?
Yes, that's the bad thing, because the Slims they have an LCD screen. They're not the OLED screen.
Yeah.
The quality is a little bit inferior in terms of the display, but it's a pretty good price, I think.
I'm not too stickler on it, so I might end up with that bundle. But who knows? I mean, I can't afford anything right now, so I'll just have to wait and see what happens. Who knows? I might come across a killer deal like Scott did, and get it for really cheap.
Sure.
How much did he say he spent? Like $80 or something like that?
I can't. I think it was over 100. I thought.
Oh, I thought it was only like $80. Maybe I'm
I
thinking
think
of something else.
I think it was like 120, but
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd
that's
say
definitely bad.
keep an eye on Craigslist because a lot of
Yes.
people sell those on Craigslist. So
Well, I live in such a small area that Craigslist probably wouldn't do me a much good anyway. But, okay, back to what I was saying. Couple of oddities. Sorry. I'm playing Loco Roco 2 on the PlayStation Portable. It's really fun platformer. It's got an interesting dynamic to it. Like, you don't actually press buttons like the face buttons to like jump and stuff. You don't actually control the character. You just control the environment, and like you just kind of tilt the environment, and your character just rolls down the hill and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting game if you're unfamiliar with it.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's really good. I like
Yes.
it. Really cheap too. I think I got this copy for brand new for like, I think it was like $3 or $4.
Oh, wow.
Brand new sealed, yeah, from on Amazon. So it's like, okay, well, that's a pretty good deal. I got it with the same seller who sold me a Dungeon Maker Hunting Ground for the PSP, which I haven't started yet. Which is actually the reason that I purchased from this seller in the first place. Was I was getting that game when I saw they had this other one for pretty cheap, so I went ahead and threw it in to save on shipping. But yeah, it's a fun game, and also Bionicle Heroes on the GameCube. This is a very interesting third-person shooter, but it plays a lot like the Lego games also. You still are running around the environment, smashing things and collecting the little Lego pigs, but it plays like, a third-person shooter, third-person action game. And I don't know, it's something about it that's so charming to me. It's a lot of fun. Interestingly enough, this game is actually on the Xbox 360 also, and the GameCube and the DS. So it came out kind of strange. But it plays a lot like a Lego game. So if you're familiar with the Lego games and you like those, and you see this for cheap, don't just pass on it. It is pretty good. I really like it. But this coming from the guy who really liked that one game, Front Mission Evolved, as a good third-person shooter. So keep that in mind, I guess. Plants vs. Zombies. Oh man. I love that game. I played it. I beat it on the PlayStation 3. Very fun game. Tower defense game. It's on everything. It's on Steam for $10, I think, and it's on iOS and Android for like $1. So there's a ton of ways to play it. And you can actually play the sequel for free on iOS or Android too. So the sequel is just as good. It's a little bit more complicated. There's more to it. The environments provide new challenges and things like that, because the second one you're actually like time traveling, and the environments, there's like an Egyptian pyramid section, and yeah, it's just strange, but it's a very fun tower defense game. And I talked to you guys a little bit before we started the podcast. I beat Warhammer 40K Space Marine finally. I started it like over a year ago, and I just kind of plowed through the end of the game yesterday and today. And it's definitely a very fun game, but extremely frustrating. Plays a lot like Gears of War, but the controls are just kind of slow. And your character, this big space marine, is wearing this big heavy armor, and he runs very slow. And it provides its own challenge trying to get away from enemies because you're so slow and clunky. But it's a decent game, and it's like dirt cheap. So if you're looking for a third-person shooter, Gears of War style, it's got a little bit of hack and slash to it, and also just your standard cover-based third-person shooter stuff going for it too. Last but not least, you guys already talked about it quite a bit. I am playing Link Between Worlds. About 6 hours into it, and I'm actually just in the first dungeon. When you get to Low Rule, I think you kind of get to pick which ones you go to. I ended up at the turtle one first, the fire one. We have to like use the freeze wand thingy.
Yeah.
I like the rental system, but I get what everybody's saying about it. it almost makes it a little bit boring because you just have everything right away. But I get what you're saying, though. You find other things within the dungeon, so it doesn't take away from that too much. But it's like it's almost too easy because you do have these special weapons available to you right away, and it makes fighting certain enemies just really easy right away. So I get it, what people are saying, but I'm really enjoying it. I admitted earlier that I committed the carnal sin of not playing Link to the Past. But I did play Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, and I love that one. That's probably my favorite Zelda game. So I kind of get the same vibes from this one, obviously with everything updated. But it's a really great game, and I'm enjoying it.
Good. Glad you're getting to play it.
Yep, that's it.
All right, Dustin, bring us home with your games you're playing.
Okay. Well, all of us have all kind of talked about Bravely Default, so I don't really know if there's really much more to say about it, but except it's kind of, until X comes out, it's the RPG to beat this year. And for everybody who bitches and complains that Final Fantasy just ain't what she used to be, this is a game that is made strictly for you, and I'm very glad that there's already a sequel coming out in Japan. So,
yes.
It looks like this is going to be another big franchise for Square Enix, and as sort of other franchises lose their luster, it's nice to see something else there to kind of carry the baton. Playing Shadows of the Damned right now, although it's really taken a back seat to Bravely Default. I'm enjoying the game. I love Suda's wackiness. I love I can never say his last name, but Akira's music. He's the guy that does the music for Silent Hill as well. And the only gripe I have about it is the fact that with these types of third-person shooters, the aiming is just so, you have to be so pinpoint accurate that it's like when you're running around and trying to avoid all these enemies, it's too hard to like really line up. And even like there's a weapon that's kind of like a shotgun, and even that is like pinpoint accurate. Like it should have like a big circle, that's what a shotgun does. It shoots. But so as if I can keep ammo for the teether, then I'm okay. But if I run out of ammo for the teether, then I'm kind of screwed. But I'll probably get back into that probably after I get done with Bravely Default, because it's kind of just taken over everything right now. I played a little bit of Outlast. It was free on PlayStation Plus, so I downloaded that. And I've pretty much already talked about how I'm going to poop and pee my pants playing that. It's a terrifying experience.
I'd love to see recorded reactions of that playthrough. That'd be great.
Yeah. I already kind of have a weird fear of night vision anyway, and the fact that you have to use night vision quite extensively in this game, and the camera uses batteries, and you have to find batteries as well. And when you use the night vision, I think it makes your batteries drain that much faster, and it's just shit. So yeah, very, very, very creepy game. It kind of does both the creepiness and the jump scares as well, so you get a nice mix. What else have I been playing? Recently jailbroke my PSP.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
And thanks to Arrow, I now have Police Knots translated on my PSP. So sometime I'm gonna get onto that. But
also thanks to Arrow, I'm probably getting Project Diva on my Vita. So thanks, Arrow. But go ahead.
I put a Super Nintendo emulator on there, and I've been playing the translated ROM of Dragon Quest III. And I still love that game as much today as I loved it back when I was playing on the NES.
Is that Job System 2?
It's Job System 2, but it's a very infantile version of the job system. Like,
okay,
you can pick your characters, like in like in Dragon Quest IX, and when you get to Dharma Temple, you can switch them, but it's kind of weird how it does it. It's not like later Dragon Quest games where it really refined it.
Yeah.
But been enjoying that. Played Ys Book 1 and finished that on the PSP and had a really good time kind of going back and re-exploring that first game, and you just forget how short of a game that really is.
Yeah.
Like they could totally get away with it back in the day, but nowadays they have to be, well, at least over here in the States, they have to be sold as book 1 and 2 because no one would buy book 1 and then book 2 separately because they're just like you can beat it in like 4 hours or something like that. There's something else I've been playing. What was it?
I'm trying to think if I heard you mention anything, but nothing's jumping into my mind.
Oh shit! There was one other thing I wanted. Oh, Brothers. I played through Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. Yeah, and it's one of those experiences. Like I wouldn't say it's as eventful as like To the Moon, but it's in that same vein where it has that very emotional storyline to it. And you really kind of get invested in it. And if you're a fan of Eco, this is a game you need to check out because there were so many times it reminded me of Eco, and there were so many moments where I was holding my controller and like my palms were sweating during the part where the two brothers tie themselves together and have to swing to the ledges, like on
that one.
Yeah,
when the sticks get crossed up on opposite sides.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm terrified of heights, and even when I play video games like that, I'm just like, I'm thinking like. My brain starts to think like, what if you were in that situation and had to do that? And I was like, no, I can't do that. So there's that. But there was like,
I want to ask you guys something, but I don't want it to get spoiled. Go ahead, Dustin.
And probably the last thing that I played, probably one of the best gaming experiences I've had in a long time. And I'm like, when you beat a game and you instantly want to restart that game, you've played something amazing. And that was Snatcher on the Sega CD.
Oh, man.
And I played it on an emulator on my PC because my burnt ISO disc didn't work, and I didn't want to go through the entire rigmarole of reburning it and all that shit. So I just played it on the emulator, but now I've reburnt a copy that works on my Sega CD, so I can play it with my Justifier, and I'm like, it's taking every ounce of my body to just not go in there and boot up the Sega CD and play that because that is just one of those. Because one of my favorite movies of all time is Blade Runner. So to play a game that's essentially just Blade Runner the game is awesome, and there's just so much character and such a great storyline. Although it kind of goes off the rails towards the end. But if you're a Kojima fan, most of his storylines go off the rails towards the end. But yeah.
So it's a boring drama with no action, like Blade Runner? Okay. I'm avoiding it.
I'm going to come to
I'm just I'm messing with you.
I'm going to come to your house and slit your throat while you sleep.
I'm messing with you. I think it was a chance. Did you mention you're not a huge fan of it, though, Blade Runner?
I liked the movie, but I don't quite get the hype for it. But that's not to say that it's bad. For everyone that loves it, sure. I like a lot of things that not a lot of other people like, and that's fine. I like it, but yeah, I it's just not so good that I have to watch it every day or something.
Well, that's a foolish decision.
Well, I've made several foolish decisions in the past.
But even the music for the Sega CD version is done by the same guy that does the music for Silent Hill. So that was kind of that was kind of a cool discovery. Like, oh shit. Because it has a very like noirish kind of kind of like a cyberpunk noirish. Like sometimes it'll be very cyberpunk-esque, but other times there'll be like a saxophone playing and stuff like that. So really, really just if you haven't played Snatcher, figure out a way to play Snatcher. And it sucks that there should be an iOS port of this. There really should, because all it is just like a visual novel with the occasional scenes where you have to shoot, and that the shooting can be easily done with just the touchpad. I mean, it's practically hand designed for iOS or Android, whatever you want to do. But great game. So that's what I've been playing.
Sweet, yeah. Have Snatcher on the PSP as well. So
yeah, you probably
bravely default, keeping everything away.
Yeah, you'll probably have a better time with the PSP's
D-pad
because I played it with the 360 D-pad on my PC, and I'll tell you what, there is no game on this planet that will make you hate that D-pad more than those late stage gun battles in Snatcher. Oh my god.
I don't know. Street Fighter 4 kind of ticked me off. So.
Yeah, Street Fighter 4. Thanks to Street Fighter 4, that was like the first Street Fighter that I played with one of the analog sticks, because I'd always play with the D-pad, and then I got it on the 360, and I was like, what did they do to this thing?
Well, we weren't trying to break records this time, folks, so I think we're at a good point. We would do some questions, but amazingly, from the 5-hour podcast, we have no questions.
All questions were...
So, once again, Mr. RPG Crazy, we're disappointed, man, that you did not ask one. But Bruno, man, it was great having you here, dude. We're going to have to get you on again, because it seems like we didn't get to talk long enough, so we definitely have to get you on here again. Talk about maybe more lighthearted topic next time.
Yeah. It seems kind of like a dark episode, like, all of Nintendo's problems, and then, Gamester's a douche for boycotting Nintendo.
I felt so bad because it's going to be our most disliked episode, and I don't want Bruno to feel bad that his episode gets a bunch of dislikes because of the topic we talked about. So I thought it was fun, man. But we need to get you on here because I think we originally planned to just talk about some shooters with you and stuff because you seem to be a shooter fan as well. So
yeah, I'm really surprised. Like, Chance, this wasn't like first-person shooters. What?
Well, that'll be for another one.
Nintendo doesn't make any good first-person shooters, I guess. I don't know.
I was just saying because you guys both like first-person shooters.
We talked a little bit.
Well, X is going to have some shooting portions.
Oh.
There you go.
Did
you guys see the new trailer for it?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So we can talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
For this, because I was in a little conversation with someone online. Because they think that was multiplayer that they were showing, which I'm not. I'm pretty certain there is going to be multiplayer in it, but I do not think that was multiplayer gameplay. And why do you might ask? Well, I'll tell you why. There's a part in that gameplay trailer where they're fighting that first monster, and the player one guy, he hops in his mech, and as soon as he downs it, all those other characters, like right on cue, like an NPC would, ran straight to their mechs. Like all at the same time, they stopped and just spread out and went to their mech. So I think those were computer AI characters. I don't think they were NPCs. And besides, Blade Chronicles was built on the same system. You had your party members there with you. So I think they had it labeled player 234 because they're not going to show you the real names now. That they're not going to spoil that stuff. So that's what I think. What about you? But it looked awesome. I'm sorry, it looked amazing.
Well, even if it has like online elements, like if you could be in my party, that's not a bad thing. Like it could be like Secret of Mana, like you just take control of one of the NPCs, or not NPCs. Yeah, one of the NPC characters in your party.
Yeah. I think he was worried, the person I was talking to, that it's not going to have a single player. It's like, don't worry, man. I think you were looking at single player. So.
Yeah. But that game is haunting my dreams.
Nintendo doesn't have any games. No.
Nintendo doesn't do
Not yet.
Yeah. Nintendo, what chance?
We just went over all the
about
games they had.
I'm talking about this one.
Yeah.
It's not there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo doesn't work on
your panties in a bunch.
That's it.
I fold them. They're not in a bunch. They're folded.
Yeah, that game
looks great.
is going to be... I think a lot of people... I don't know. I think a lot of people are waiting on that game. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but it seems like whenever a video of that shows, everyone's drooling over it. So I think that like when that comes out, some people, by then a lot of people have gotten rid of their Wii U's, so people will be buying used Wii U's, and maybe...
I don't know if it's going to be like a system pusher here over here, but I would hope it would, because I don't know how big Monster Hunter and everything stuff is over here, and I think that'd be an audience it could try to grab, but I don't know if it's over here.
As long as Nintendo doesn't do another exclusive deal with GameStop, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little bit
what
worried.
You saw in it, Bruno? Are you worried about it? Uh-oh.
I think every time that I see new footage of the game, I'm getting a little bit worried because I think it's been confirmed that the game is going to have a online co-op element to it. which is fine. But I think I'm afraid that maybe the game is gonna focus or break its focus on the single player a little bit. I don't know. I just enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles so much for what it was. You know, the single player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it was a single player game, so I'm just hoping that the story doesn't, or the progression of the game doesn't get affected too much by the online component of the game. But it looks great. I mean, I'll get it day one, that's for sure. But I don't know. I'm a little bit scared.
Well, maybe that's good not to have a super high bar for it.
Yeah.
That way you don't go in disappointed and stuff. So maybe it's good to go in that way.
I think there's a possibility that might disappoint just a little bit because everyone's so like jacked up because of Xenoblade Chronicles, and it's like this is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles perfected, and it's probably not even going to be. It's probably going to have a lot of similarities to Xenoblade, but it's probably going to be something completely different, and we're going to have to wrap our heads around that when it comes out.
Yeah. One thing I did notice in the thing I wasn't liking too much was the where they had the bar for your moves, your hot bar, is pretty much covering up when he was just outside of the mech. I could barely see him doing any combat because it was covering him up the whole time. I was like, I want to see what these moves look like, but the stupid hot bar was in the way. So as long as they fix something like that.
No, that was Final Fantasy 14. I was going to say, couldn't you move it? But then I was confusing it with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you can adjust the sizes in 14. Yeah, you can make them smaller and bigger.
You could completely move them around.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll have something like that in there.
So yeah, let's end it on a high note talking about X. That's awesome. But
yeah, end it on a high note. Bruno's like, I'm a little worried about it.
I'm a little worried. But we'll definitely have to get you back in here, Bruno, to talk some more, give you some more time. So, but I had fun. It was a good episode. I liked it.
No, yeah, I had a lot of fun too. Thank you so much for having me on this episode. Like I said at the beginning, I've been a very huge fan of your respective channels, and it was a really fun time being here with you guys talking about games. So, and Games 31.
No problem, man. Same here. And real quick, as always, since we have the new Facebook fan page, community page up, be sure to go check that out. We'll leave the link in here in the description. Just posted the first ever AGP game night with, I think, Dustin's most anticipated game last year, hands down.
Hands down.
We finally picked it up. Bruno got his copy today, so he's in on it. Did you unfortunately have to pay $20 for a used, or did you get it new, Bruno?
No, I got it new for $5. I had to go to 3 different GameStops.
I was going to say, Steven, don't worry. There are new copies to be had out there. There's plenty.
Well, here in my town, we had 3 that my buddy who picked it up a couple days ago is going to play with us. He went to GameStop, couldn't find any new copies, so he unfortunately had to pay for a used one, and I got 3 around us. He couldn't get one. He got a used one. I was like, that can't be true. I go online, and it says there's a store who has a new copy. I call them. They said they did, so he was going to hold the new copy. But he goes back over there. He said, sorry, they had like a shift change, and the guy sold it. So the new copy was gone again, and he had to get stuck with his more expensive used copy.
That sucks.
But, yeah. And I know Chance, he wants it bad too. We want to help you get it, Chance, man. Why won't you let us do it? Let us get you in on the fun.
Well, I mean, whatever. I'm not asking for charity here.
You need it in your collection.
I think deep down inside, you don't want to play it with us.
No, I actually really wanted to play this game. I actually was looking forward to it before it came out.
I think we are all looking forward to it. And
then reviews started pouring in, and everybody's like, "Oh no!" So I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna spend a ton of money on it." And then it got pretty cheap, and I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. And
what is March 1st?
Nah. I don't. It's a Saturday or Friday, I think. Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
Well, yeah. I have it scheduled, guys and gals. So the event is on the page. If you're I see a lot of people liking the post, and some who have liked it and said they're going to be there, but they didn't join the invite. So I'm getting a little confused who wants to come, but it's cool. If you
Have
want
we
to come
said
though,
what game it is yet? Have we said that out loud?
I don't think so.
Well, I
game
guess
is-
that's an incentive to go check out the Facebook page if you want to know what game we're talking about.
but we'll leave it hanging. So check the page out, see what game we're playing on our first game night. It's probably going to be the multiplayer mode of the game, seeing as the single player only does 4 players. But hey, if that's all that shows up, it could just be me, Mike, Bruno, and Dustin playing through some 4-player story mode. So, and I'm going to actually try to capture gameplay footage of that, of us, whoever wants to play through the story mode.
We should all be Skyping too.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
I
going to be
could record-
Skyping to record it.
I could
That'll
record
be
the
fun.
audio and we can try to put the video together somehow.
It's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. So again, be sure to check out the Facebook page because we're going to have more of these when, especially Wii U, Mario Kart, some Smash Brothers. It's going to get crazy. So a whole bunch of ideas ahead for some game nights.
I
We'll
know-
invite Gamester to the sessions.
Yes, we'll invite him to play Mario Kart with us.
Yeah.
I remembered something I was going to talk about when I was talking about games I was playing. It's real quick. I put in the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on my PS4.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, and it's that first scene where she's hanging upside down, and you have to like swing back and forth to get the fire and get her out of the getting tied up. And her ponytail is still going straight up her back. So her ponytail was defying gravity. And I just sat there. And I went, next gen graphics, because they made such a big deal about all of her hair physics. And
man,
there's her ponytail sticking straight up while she's upside
that's
down.
funny. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, now you get to tell us to say bye now.
Oh, are we done?
Yeah, I think we can call it there. I'm happy. You guys happy?
I'm happy.
I'm always happy.
All right, let's then say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh my god.
Bye, everyone.